Hello and welcome to Zaxria. We are back for another night at the Not So Round Table. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to our most recent followers. I'm going to let Shab try to pronounce this one. Can you see that first name there? Right here? This one here? What do you think that is?
Bupepin Blastoise.
All right, thanks. And also Jax RP, Little X Miss 93, and Chav Hunter 86. We appreciate it. And speaking of followers, we have a giveaway at 100. We are nearing it. We're at 69 right now.
Nice. Don't even think about
But once we reach 100, yeah, right. It's like turning it off. Once we get to 100 followers, though, we are giving a copy of Xanathar's away to a random follower. And then if you are subscribing once we hit 100 followers, you will get a custom mini from Hero Forge. So also subscribe and follow. I don't think we have any other announcements, but be sure to also check out the YouTube that has all of the VODs all the way up until episode 62 on it, and then 63 will be posted up there today. And then 62 is in 2 parts. So, last we had left off, you guys made your way to the port city in the desert of Nasai. Once you arrived there, you found yourselves in a sandstorm where you had hurried up into the hall. This hall was the Hall of the Harbinger. The hall itself was built upon what you found out to be some sort of very, very ancient and old and dark portal. After defeating the Harbinger, you stuck around there for a little bit to rest and wait out a little bit more of the sandstorm before returning to Teneveth. While you were waiting, a voice had crept through, piercing all of your minds, except for the dwarves. It just seemed to have targeted all of the keepers, along with Chelonia. But after the voice had pierced through your mind, you're unsure of exactly who it was, but you have your assumptions of who it could have been. But after that had came through, the portal behind in the cave that was there, everything had kind of collapsed and broken in on itself. Not really sure why. That's up for speculation as well. But after doing that, you returned to Arkanoria to head to Teneveth, passing through with the dwarven bodies of both Jarby, Greem, and Hyde. Heidi and Largus were the only 2 that remained. You guys made your way through there, though, into Teneveth and brought them to their battle wagon that they rode back to Yoldgard in order to give some sort of proper burial and ceremony to the fallen kind of dwarf paladins that had accompanied you in your mission, which was successful. So there was a win in that, but it's really hard to enjoy the victory when you know that you've lost 3 people in the process of doing so. But after reaching Teneveth, you spoke with High Priestess Kylaria, waking her actually from her bedchambers. Both Skip and Azreal had gone there in order to present to her whatever news you had, being that you had defeated the Harbinger, found some sort of old portal, and you were also inquiring about the tiefling individual that you had abducted and brought here to be questioned for his intentions and whatever information they could get from him, which she had told you had been nothing thus far, nothing of note. After leaving from Teneveth, Connor actually left and went to Southbrook. He told you that he would, I don't know if he actually told you he was going to Southbrook. I think he may. Nope, he just told you he had some stuff to do. And he'd be back in a week, and he would either meet you here in Teneveth, where he would portal back to from Arkanoria, or find you at the estate. So for the time being, you guys are within Teneveth, resting and doing whatever it is you wish to do. You guys have not headed back to the estate quite yet. I think you guys had plans of doing so once you were all cured. That took about 2 days in order to get all of that done properly with everybody that had the effect that had been done to them within the Harbinger's lair. So everybody should be at their max HP aside from Azreal, who has some sort of other adverse effects going on. But you're all at your HPs. Okay. All your health points, spell slots restored. So you guys within Teneveth. The weather itself is quite nice this time of year. You're finding that there's like a good breeze that comes off of the hills every now and then. A few of you find yourselves outside of the gates, just not wanting to be confined into the walls of the city itself. There are people out and about, And it's strange watching people just walk around and go about their day. For you guys, there is a constant sense of dread that doesn't seem like it consumes you, but is always there. There's not a day that passes where you don't think, could this be the day, where something could occur and your demons just start pouring through and into Zaxria. But for the time being, nothing is imminently like trying to kill you, or there's no mission at the current time, so you're able to rest and take a little bit of a breather and try to get some things done that you wanted to do. So I do believe Azreal said that he had to do some stuff at the estate, and the plan in general was to just go back there. Was there anything anybody wanted to do in Teneveth before leaving?
I went through all the temples and stuff already.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Temple Caravan.
Okay. Glad I didn't write down a bunch of stuff for you not to go there. Cool. I'm glad that you said, yeah, I'm going to go there.
Fucking move that to the next session, I guess.
Actually, we're done for the day.
All right. So, Zarvax, as everybody is just resting within this central little tent that everyone seemed to find a cot in and relax at, everybody just seems to be minding their own business and doing whatever, just passing time. You guys are still a little bit fatigued from the actual encounter that had occurred, even though it was 2 days ago. Just from it literally just draining your life force out of you was a little difficult to quickly recover from. It's not the normal, scrapes and cuts and bruises and wounds that you endure. It was a hit to your constitution that was literally starting to drain your life force, so it's a little bit more difficult to recover from. But nonetheless, you guys are now feeling a little bit better, getting ready to start packing up your stuff and head home for a little while and see what's going on there and possibly get some things done. As for you, Zarvax, you approach the pyramid-like temple of Keranos. You can see the large lightning bolt symbol above the doorway. The steps themselves are a little chipped and broken up a little bit. The temple itself is very new, but it seems that some of the material was used from whatever was here before, so a piece of the city is still within here. But the top part and the central portion of the temple itself is all very brand new. You can see the symbol up there that is carved in very well. It's not very rigidly chipped into it. You're taking notice of a lot more of it now this time around as you're just slowly kind of approaching. As you walk in, you're expecting some sort of lightning or thunder or some sort of blue light on the other side, but you can just see what appears to be a low-lit flame on both sides, probably in some sort of a sconce that's on the wall that's just slightly flickering as you're starting to walk up. As you get in to the temple itself, you can see that there are two individuals within there, both of them robed, shorter, stocky individuals. Both appear to be dwarven. They're just kind of kneeled off in their own little separate spots, heads down, and they don't have their hands like this or clasped. They're kind of just pushed together as they're kind of heads down and they're praying or doing whatever it is they're doing. But after your attention kind of gets brought away from the two of them, you can see to the far side, bald head, short frame, very muscular, kind of has a little bit of a harness on at the moment that you can see. It's more of a actual vest though, because there's more material to it than just straps. But as he is sitting there, Stormcaller Uldar is taking what appears to be some sort of mop equivalent and is cleaning up the floor a little bit, working on that. There's a large wooden bucket in front of him that he's squishing water into and then cleaning up something from the floor. He does not seem to have noticed you enter.
So, are there different meditation or praying spots in here, or is it kind of just the main altar and then people just kind of go around?
Yeah, so essentially it looks like there's just the main altar and that's all you've ever really noticed. But looking a little more intently upon everything now, you can see that there are several little carved out circles that are in the wall themselves, and it looks like there are offerings that are placed inside of some of these, whether it be a a small slice of like bread or coins or like a piece of paper that has something written on it, or like flowers or whatever it is. But there's probably a good dozen or so on each side that just kind of go along the walls and then back, because the room itself is a large square.
Okay.
So it's just like the main central altar, and then there's maybe like 3 or 4 on each side in the front, about a dozen here, and then a couple on towards the sides where the entryways come from. So it's not just like that one spot. And you can see where they're kneeling is in front of like those little circles.
Okay.
And you said Uldar's like in front of the main one.
Mm-hmm. And he's wiping something up from part of the altar.
All right. I'm not gonna say anything to him. I'm just gonna walk up like next to it, kind of like if it's like here,
Yeah.
probably be like right here. So,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna kind of try to like kneel down and like make an attempt at like meditation or pray of some sort at the main altar.
Make a religion check for me. You can do it with advantage because you are in the temple.
Wait a minute.
That's why I was fucking up so much he didn't even realize he needed dice.
I forgot. It's like, what? Why am I at Billy's house? It's not even Sunday. What's going on? $12.
12. Okay. As you sit and kneel with your hands clasped in front of you, it goes quiet for a moment. Your mind is constantly going and thinking, and there's a lot on it all of the time. And especially with all this new information that you've kind of acquired through time, you're just like acquiring everything all at once as you're sitting here trying your best to just focus on whatever it is you need to focus on. And it's something that's just been so unclear to you this whole time. Like, what am I meditating? Like, what the hell does this do, me kneeling here with my fists together? Like, this doesn't make any sense to you. So you just have taken it upon yourself that most of the time when you do it, like if it's not something super important, that you're just sitting there like quietly with your eyes closed, and then you could probably like peek over like one eye and like look over and see if anybody's watching. You do notice when you have your eye kind of like half open and are looking over that Uldar there with the bucket has kind of pushed it up against to the side of the altar, is looking over the altar itself before looking around in the actual temple before he sees you. Doesn't immediately like walk over to you, notices you kneeling down, clasping your fists together before he takes a little bit more time. Maybe like a good 5-10 minutes or so passes of you actually sitting here trying to meditate and focus. And honestly, it gets a little peaceful to where you're starting to feel a bit more calmed, and you feel the environment itself. There is a surge of energy within here that you are connected to, and it's really hard to deny that energy and the connection that you feel. But then along with all of that power that comes through you, there is like a little bit of a humbleness that just slows you and eases you a bit. Kind of take like a little bit of a breath. You hear a couple of footsteps coming up behind you. A hand just kind of goes onto your shoulder. Stormborn, what brings you to the temple?
The last time we spoke, you taught me some things, and so much has been happening. I haven't been able to revisit that place. I thought that while I was here, I could try to strengthen my connection to Keranos to help me reach that place when I'm not here.
Well, he's always there, watching and waiting. But I guess it's a good start coming here. You've been reading those books?
No. It's hard for me to focus on books and meditation and things like that. Especially with everything that I've been through with my group recently. It seems like we're always moving, always fighting, always going. And then when I have time to rest, I'm just exhausted from how hard I push myself.
Well, your ability to push yourself is admirable. It's the reason you're able to be Stormborn. Come with me if you're sick of words. I'll show you some pictures.
Okay.
You've noticed it before. The altar itself, that is like this protrusion of stone that has a lightning bolt kind of symbol carved into it. The back part of it has some sort of an entryway. Never actually been back there, but you've seen it before. You're aware that it's there, but you've never really had interest to go any further than that. And also, every time that you've come here, you've always been greeted by Uldar or somebody here, and something else has begun. And then after it finishes, you just go off, and it's just kind of been off in the back of your mind, just really not thought of or looked into. But now that you're heading back here, you can see that there is, towards the backside of the altar that's there's like this half circle that's carved into it that leads to one single hallway that goes down a couple of steps. It doesn't go down too far, probably only about 6 or so steps, and then the actual pathway itself is quite small. It's probably only about maybe 6 feet. So you're having to duck down a little bit, and since you're going down on this little bit of an incline, you're almost like crouching at some points too, just because of the way that the angle is and you're trying to fit. It's quite wide to where you can fit down. It's just the height that's a little bit of an issue. But nonetheless, once you actually get down, there is this like dome-shaped top to it, and then it goes down on a little bit of a slant all the way around, almost like a bunker, you would imagine. How it's just like this little bit of a dome shape. But as you're exiting down the bottom, you don't see any lights that are immediately lit, but you can see just a little bit of shapes here and there from whatever fire is coming from the top, just slightly. You watch Uldar walk over to the wall, and he takes his hand up to it and presses it against it. Where he does, there's this like crackle of blue lightning that goes across the whole upper part of this room that you can see. But where you're at right now, you can only see this like front half of it. And then once you start to look around, you can see that really is all there is down here. It's like some sort of half circle room in this back portion. The room itself, once he touches his hand against it, it's not like this single ring of light that goes all the way around. There's like this crackle of lightning that comes out to form this like channel with light upon it. And then there are these depictions on the walls themselves that are all carved into the wall. But then there's varying colors of like this bright yellow, bright blue, darker blue, even like a very bright white crackle. But it's all seeming to be from the same energy source of like some sort of lightning or thunder that is causing these to be known. Immediately looking directly in front of you, you see a depiction of a large and strong man. He's holding in one hand what appears to be like a large lightning bolt at his side, and that itself is just kind of like crackling and going around in circles. And then you can see as you're going further and further along that there is some sort of, I don't want to say like a timeline, but there's like 3 or 4 different pictures on each side, and they seem to be, they are carvings within the wall that somebody has put here and taken a lot of time to do so. Unsure of if they're just like, cool little pictures to look at on the wall, if they're depictions of something. But nonetheless, as you're looking in it and you're down here seeing all of it, you're just trying to take everything in for a moment. He walks over to the left, and as he does, you're just kind of taken on this by everything around you. So you're just like looking before you see him standing over to the side, kind of arms crossed, waiting for you to take notice of him standing there before you actually make your way over. Once you do, he's standing in front of what you can see on the wall now is that same depiction of that large individual, but he is taking like a lightning bolt or a thunderbolt and getting ready to like throw it down towards what you can see is this huge line of fire and some sort of gnarly demonic looking creatures that are starting to push their way out and into some sort of what looks like just grassy kind of terrain, but there's like this fire that's meeting it, and then he's on this side with a thunderbolt. And then you can actually see beside him in this depiction is a similarly kind of the features look similar, if anything, is holding this large kind of pole arm that is going down towards these individuals. And he points up and gestures towards the individual next to Keranos. Did you read enough into the book to read of Cabraxith at all?
I don't think so.
That's all right.
It's the first page.
I got like 3 pages in. Okay.
Cabraxith is
First sentence.
Keranos' brother, god of vindication. A little bit of an inquisitor, if you would. Although they do not always see eye to eye on things, and their ideals and where their powers come from are not aligned, they both have a similar hate for demons. They fought side by side in many battles against evil. Their relationship's a bit rocky, but nonetheless, like I said, nothing can overcome their hatred for demons. He starts to walk a little further down the line. The first depiction you saw there was during the Epoch of Resolution. During that, Keranos and his brother fought off hordes and hordes of demons, trying to keep them at bay. Don't know how much you know about the Epoch of Resolution, but this was many, many, many centuries ago, when good and evil were trying to fight over mankind, to put their sway on the world of Zaxria. Good conquered, but evil finds its way in every now and then. That's what you're here for. Keranos has given you your gifts for. Keep that evil at bay. It will always be there. You'll always have one more fight, another bad thing to face and take down, someone trying to kill someone, people dying. It's the way of the world. The cycle itself is vicious, but you're an essential part of it. Once you're able to hone in and understand that a little better, it gets easier. He nods his head back and up towards the next depiction. This depiction here is of the keepers, the first keepers. He kind of points up. Rhainesk was a devout follower of Cabraxith, the god of vindication. During this time, Keranos didn't really have anyone, any champion or Stormcaller or Stormborn to fight. So he took it upon himself to come to Zaxria. He walks a little further down to the next picture. He puts his head up a little towards the depiction on the wall that you can see now is a single, what appears to be human individual. The thing that catches your attention, and for good reason, so the whole depiction itself is in this like either darkish or bluish lightning kind of coloring and carving. But you can see the thing that he's wielding within his hand is this bright white crackling great axe that he seems to be holding. And he gives a bit of a grin. Keranos didn't find too well to let his brother have all of the glory, so he found his way here and created himself a magical artifact, if you would. One that only certain people are capable of wielding.
Right, nothing else.
He called it Storm's Rage.
He calls it what?
Storm's Rage. Now, during the eradication, when Keranos was here, he found himself within the Redwoods, in Ophelia, Azash, Southbrook, wherever he needed to be, wherever he thought he would bring himself there. Storm's Rage was a very strong and mighty artifact, and I'm assuming still is. There are books, stories, tales, paintings, prayers even. After Keranos had left during the eradication, he tried to leave the weapon behind, but its power was too strong, causing it to be broken into 3 pieces. Now, these 3 pieces, nobody really knows where they are, but I'm sure with some looking, you could find it. The axe head itself, the handle, and the essence of the storm. Now, the only one that we know of where it is the essence of the storm. When you assemble and find the axe head and the handle, you are to bring it to Mount Celestia. to the forge in the heavens. And then once you are there, you will use the essence of the storm and endure the trial in order to reforge the weapon. Now, you're asking, why do I tell you this? I tell you this because Keranos has been telling me something here and there. Subtle hints, and I've heard people talk. I've seen things. Evil's coming at some point. It's bound to. And I think when it does, Storm's Rage would really help out.
Facts.
Have you heard of the Harbinger?
No.
Well, you're right to believe evil is coming, and we're trying to fight it back, but I think the Harbinger was the first of many strong enemies we'll encounter. We just defeated him. That's why I'm here, because he humbled me in ways that I did not expect.
Well, good. I'm glad that after you were humbled, you came here for guidance. I hope I've given it to you in some way. And I will tell you, with Storm's Rage, the only way you'll be able to harness it is if you're right with Keranos, and I think you're on the right path. There may be a couple of books, possibly, but like I said, Storm's Rage has been lost for 200 years or so.
Okay. I think I might have a resource available. Have you heard of...
You were able to say anything.
I know, that's why I
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. Heard of what? I've been to Brunswick.
No.
Yes, Brunswick, you just said.
I might need a doctor.
You're in the right place.
Him and Oliver.
But for now, Stormborn, read more of the book. Find out what you can. Pray when you don't know the answer. And when you don't like the answer,
Give up.
just keep fighting.
Thank you, Stormcaller. These images are going to help me a lot to remember and focus on information.
You have access to all of this at any time, so this is just as much as your home as it is anywhere else.
Thank you.
I've got some cleaning to do. Actually, you've got some cleaning to do. There's a mop upstairs. Somebody spilled a bunch of ale on front of the altar and it can't get the smell out. When you're done looking down here, it'll be waiting.
You know you're a keeper, man. What the fuck is this shit?
I'll spend So, you said that these images are all lit up by lightning, basically.
Yes.
Is that a constant thing?
It is not constant.
So when he leaves, does that go away?
It does not.
Okay.
You're not sure when it'll go away.
All right. Well, I'll just keep looking at it for maybe a little bit beyond where he showed me. Try to just absorb what I'm seeing, so that maybe if I am flipping through the book and I read something, it'll make the image pop up in my head, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's what this is," kind of thing. And then I guess I'll go mop.
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, great. 5.
Okay. You're more taken back by the images themselves. Anybody that would be looking at this would be like, how the hell did they actually carve this like this?
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it without all of the lightning there, it looks a bit strange. It's just like the different hues and colors of the lightning that come through that make it look like some sort of intense and intricate painting or depiction of something.
Okay.
But as you make your way further down the line, you can see that it's not like a chronological timeline, but it gets to a point where you can start seeing that there are depictions of other gods that are placed upon here. You can see both Keranos and Cabraxith are by each other quite a bit in some of these. Cabraxith isn't in like every single depiction, but he's in quite a few. And the only reason that he is that everybody thinks he's Cabraxith or has been depicted in this, and that you know it's him, is that they have a likeness. The face itself is extremely chiseled, like around the chin. There is a kind of very, very soft nose, larger kind of ears. The cheeks themselves are kind of more bony than they are fatty. But they look like both very strong individuals, and you can just kind of see a likeness in the features. But you get to a portion of it where you can see that there is a depiction of what you are assuming and have slightly read about, I'd say. We didn't actually like bring it up when you read it before, but Mount Celestia. Mount Celestia is just a portion in the heavens. So there's like the blessed fields of Elysium, Mount Celestia itself. Then there are a couple of other small little pockets of heavens. They're all similarly connected to how the hells are. So the hells are kind of like this stepped sort of, it almost shapes this little bit of like a ice cream cone type of deal, where you kind of start and then go way down. But with the heavens, there's just this huge overarching kind of dome that goes over Zaxria. And there's just like certain sections of it that are dedicated to certain things. So it's all just like one big dome. But then along the dome, you just kind of like merge over into the next bit of heavens by some sort of, whether it be a gateway or like a river or some sort of like walkway or a huge field that eventually brings you to the next one. But what you can see on here is Mount Celestia, and you can see that there is Keranos like standing in this huge form behind it. And depicted in this, he's not human. He's more of like a dwarven-esque individual. And obviously, all of the depictions are similar but different, just because everybody has their own image of what he may look like. Especially, dwarven individuals are going to assume he's dwarven. Humans are going to assume he's human. There's even some elven depictions of Keranos. But looking at this, you're able to discern that his home place within the heavens is Mount Celestia, and bringing the once forged or reassembled headpiece and the handle to there, then that is when it can be like reforged. So your mind kind of brings you to that, and then you look at it and you're like, okay, noted, got it. All right,
Mop time.
all right. You go up and mop. It takes you a little bit, and it's like a stale beer smell. Like it's like been there for a little bit, and then inside of here, there's really not a whole lot of ventilation, so there's like heat too because of the weather outside, and it's just like a trifecta of bad stuff that has caused this to happen. But you get it cleaned up nonetheless. Stormcaller Uldar seems to be busy as you're leaving, and you just kind of put the mop and bucket wherever it goes, and head your way back out to the rest of the party, who is either packing their stuff up or if anybody was doing something else.
We're all gone. We're at the house.
Pranked.
I was gone for like an hour and a half. He just disappeared.
Actually, sprinted his house.
The keepers, please report to the front desk. Keep washers our hands. No, I think I was packing up and ready to go.
I think that's all anybody's doing.
Okay.
Like horses here or something?
Yeah, you guys actually brought horses here. There was just like one that was pulling a wagon.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So if you guys,
Bring the team
right.
on.
Yeah. Can we take that back then?
Yeah.
Make it a little bit
For
faster.
sure.
It's not our.
I'd say in that meantime, when he was in there, you would have been able to go find and
Okay.
procure your horse and
Pay
wagon.
like $3,000 for just sitting here.
Nope. They fed it, washed it, brushed it out, cleaned out the wagon a little bit.
We get a griffin. We're dropping it here.
getting griffins. I don't know if we have the money for that.
So I said wood.
Try to bark.
That was also the last campaign.
Clear out the taken serpent. We could probably get some griffins.
Okay,
We'll park our magic carpet here then.
you guys making your way back to the estate.
Put that in the big hole.
Who's gonna feed it?
Because it'd be dust.
Okay. So, you guys are making your way back. And Connor, you are within Southbrook. You are within your grandfather's kind of estate here. A little nicer place than most of the other houses here, just because of his high up position with being a good educator for a lot of people. So for you, last we left off for you, you made your way to Southbrook in order to do two different things. To kind of reforge a bond, I guess, or a relationship, and also unintentionally came here to get some plans going for the ships here to be outfitted with some sort of navigation devices to be able to go through the Sea of Souls.
It came out of nowhere, but it came in. It's started working.
Yeah, it seemed to be going in a good direction once it started. And today, as you're waking up, you can smell potatoes. They smell a little burnt. It's almost like they're in like a pan with a little bit of oil or something possibly over a fire, and you can smell something burning a little bit. You can hear sizzling as well, possibly bacon. You smell a little bit of it. And you see over, like, once you get down from the little bit of the tower where your room was, that your grandfather is in the kitchen, like, hobbling his way around, trying to, like, cook some food up. The only thing that it looks like he's trying to cook is bacon and potatoes, and it looks like he's struggling to, like, keep up with that. Like, he's just got it over the fire, and he's, like, flipping one around, and yeah. Then he goes over to the next one, and he's grabbing, like, a little wooden spoon and flipping it around. But eventually, as you're coming down, he's like, "Oh, Connor, yes, take a seat. We'll eat together before we go. The council meeting, right? Today? Yep. All right. Good." So he sets it onto there. He's like, I haven't been to get anything from the market. I went there yesterday and only grabbed bacon and potatoes. They were pretty run dry by the time I got there. So he just starts flopping it down into sits down at the table and sets it in front of you. The potatoes, there's a couple of them that are smaller. They're like kind of cut thinly, but the smaller ones are like very, very crispy looking. You're not sure if it's actually a potato or just like some sort of charred thing that fell into the pan itself, but
Oh, not trying to be rude. I'll eat it.
yeah, it's edible. It's edible. So, you didn't tell me much about what the gathering of the council was for today. You just said that you didn't want to sway my decision.
Came here just trying to, I guess, get a little fresh air on everything that was going on, and it kind of just came out. We found a way to possibly navigate the Sea of Souls. And
Interesting.
that was on how we're going to do it, or if Southbrook is going to do it, is what the vote will be on today.
Well, I'm
more,
sure.
More or less, it's a fancy compass. Actually, it's just a regular compass. You just use it underwater.
Right. All right. Well, I'm sure it'll come up in the meeting, but we'll figure it out. I have to do a couple of things before I get there. I've got probably about, looks outside and peeks, maybe 2 or so hours. So, I'll see you there, but eat up and enjoy it. I know it's not anything great, but I'll go again today a little earlier, probably after the meeting, and maybe we can go pick a couple of things up.
Sure.
get some food for however long you're going to be here.
I'm going to head outside, get some fresh air, like walk around for a little bit.
Alrighty, I'm off then. Got to do a couple of house calls, see a couple of students about some things, but I'll see you at the council meeting.
Alright.
He gets up and hobbles his way out. By the door, you can see that he grabs a cane, or like more of a walking stick, because he's not really putting weight on it. He's just more using it to get a little bit more traction in front of him. Yeah.
I've been there.
Alrighty.
Oof, you're death. That's death. That gives you a
As you make your way outside into the fresh but salty, kind of briny air of Southbrook, it is a smell that never leaves you, and once you're back to it, it's exactly how you remember it. You can hear kind of gulls all the time here. It's just like constant. They are here in just like thousands of them. Let me get this little thing going here a little better. Oh, gulls. The sound of the ocean splashing against the rock wall. Your grandfather's estate sits on the edge a little bit of the actual Crown's Ward itself, so he's kind of overlooking the ocean on the western side there. It seems very, very vast and empty, but you can see on occasion maybe a fishing boat pass or some sort of like dolphin kind of poke its fin up and go down into the water this early in the day. But the day is yours to do as you wish for the next 2 hours until you go to the council meeting.
I think just before the council meeting and everything, just gonna clear my head and, like I said, just walk around and
Okay.
then just meet up there.
All right. So, after waiting for a little while within the little area of the Crown's Ward where your grandfather's estate is, walking the roads, seeing people passing by, you get waves here and there, but a couple of snootier nobles give more of like a head nod and a quick pass by. Many of these people are within this Crown's Ward that live in this like noble type district. Many of them are merchants of like textiles. They own some of the like fishing exports and have like their own fishing companies that come out of here. They send them all over the world. Many of them have many different businesses, but their business many of them are like family rich. Like they came from many of the first families that were in Southbrook and just accrued and created businesses over time to the point where they're just all now here. You know a good amount of them too. I mean, you've probably even played with a couple of the kids who are now adults and possibly owners of these buildings and businesses. A couple of them you're not really sure should be in charge of a lot of the stuff they are, but nonetheless they are, and many of them recognize you, and you do the same and just give a friendly wave and nod maybe. But you make your way through into the more central part of the Crown's Ward where the Citadel of Sand is. After walking around and just relaxing for a couple hours there, you can see walking up and actually approaching from the west side as you're just walking straight up to the building itself. You can see a horse-drawn carriage with the Margrove symbol on the side there. And then jumping down from the front of it, a butler that walks over to the side door and opens it up, where you see Karina exiting. She is wearing this kind of darker, reddish, almost like a maroon color, but with more red inside of it. Dress that goes down all the way to her feet. The shoulders are a little ruffled at the, like right all the way down to like mid-arm. She has bracelets on her left and right wrists, and then her rings on her right side. One of them is a family ring that has the crest on it. But she doesn't really take notice that you're there, just because of like her already approaching, and you're just kind of walking up. You watch her walk up and in, and she has over her shoulder the same satchel she had when you saw her yesterday. Once you make your way inside, you are let in by the guards that are standing there. They seem to be the same two individuals back on their morning shift guarding here that let you in, opening the door up for you. You make your way into and through the marvelous kind of limestone doors that open and reveal the beautiful interior. You can see the flag of Southbrook is flowing slightly in the wind right above the doorway. It's this navy blue flag with a golden ship cresting over a wave. Sort of similar to the way that it's been before, but since the council has taken over, it's been slightly changed and altered in some small little nuances that you notice, but nonetheless, it's still pretty much the same symbol of this golden ship cresting over a wave. Once you enter the council chambers, the council is already all there. It seemed that Karina, aside from you, would be the last person to enter within here. You can see Hartford, Fletcher, Karina, Alton, and your grandfather are here. And standing beside Fletcher is General Haverdash. He didn't have it before, but you see resting upon his shoulder is a Lumeron, but it's like dark black with this vibrant rainbow colored speculum on its side. The bird itself is large, like an eagle. It seems very well trained. You can see that it has on its wrist some sort of a silver wristlet on the leg with a leather strap that kind of comes off of it. You know that is mainly there for purposes of like tying on some sort of a note or letter or something to be slipped in it. And there's also some sort of like a little leather slot for like something to slide into it. And then the strap just kind of goes through and ties off a little bit. The bird itself takes notice to you walking into. It's a little bit like you're like looking at it like, is that thing looking at me? But it's just like looking, kind of turns its head a bit, puts its eye over to the side. Once you take, entry into the room and everybody seems to have noticed you, Hartford is standing up. He seems to be grabbing a couple of papers that he's setting in front of him. You can see your grandfather as he notices you. Ah, Gunner, yes, perfect, just in time. Take a seat. We did a little bit of discussing before you'd got here. Karina had missed a small bit of it, but it's nothing important, and if you would. And he points over to Hartford. So, in light of recent events and what you have told us, we'd like for you to, plead your case a little bit as to exactly what it is you're expecting from Southbrook or wanting. I know that you're not here demanding anything or expecting us to do anything. That's not what I'm implying. It's more of what you would like to have been done, I guess. I know that you didn't intentionally come here for this originally, but it seems important and should be addressed. So the floor is yours to say as you wish and say your piece, and we'll all go to a vote with whatever it is we decide.
Alright. Well, as I said before, on one of our travels, we had taken over one of the Serpent's ships. We interrogated one of their crew members on to how they sail through the Sea of Souls, and we obtained a, working piece from them on how to navigate. Pretty much all it is a compass within some sort of glass dome or sphere, and it is used under the water as to where the magic or some sort of field cannot touch it, and you can navigate freely. What I proposed was we outfit some of the ships here with that and go after the Taken Serpents at their home island, which is inside the Sea of Souls. If we can do that, we would be able to one rescue Anders' brother, Sandon, who creates all these different prototypes and weapons for the Taken Serpent and use those on not only the Royal military ships, but also help get that to the rest of Zaxria, as there is a known evil that will be coming to this land, much like before.
After you get done saying what you're saying, and everyone can tell that you're done, your grandfather just kind of like puts up a thumb, like. With that, kind of interjecting and speaking after you do, Alton leans forward a bit. So you're saying that there is some sort of a magnetic field that causes the navigation to go awry. So being underwater is what allows the navigation to be read then, the compasses.
Yes.
All right, very well.
The Taken Serpent's crew, they're smart to a fault. They know how to get around the Sea of Souls, but I believe they don't know the best way to do it. I mean, they kind of just toss one of their crewmates into the ocean and say, "Tell us which way you're going."
And then Karina at that point, yes, that's why I came up with this, as we discussed yesterday and I showed you. I've refined many of the drawings that I've done in order to make it a little bit more clearer, and I think that structurally that we can do it, and quite easily. And if we get as many workers as we possibly need, I'm guessing probably 400 to 500, we can outfit at least 30. And I think that that would be plenty. And we can do that in at least a month. And she puts the papers up on the table. Once she sets the papers up there, you can see that the design that she has is actually pretty solid. I can't really use the sheet that I have here.
Smell Andrew design.
So essentially,
Yeah. Probably like 10 times better and just already done, honestly.
actually, let me get this paper here. Oh, jeez. Breaking stuff. Okay. This might be a little difficult to see because it's in pencil. So I'm going to try to make it a little darker. Alright, so as she sets the paper up, you can see the design itself. It seems like it is pretty well thought through. Essentially, she has drawn the ship itself, and then there is like steps going from like the mid deck of the ship, because many of them are galleons, so there's 3 levels to them. They just have the upper, middle, and then an actual like below, like lower deck. This portion here seems to be part of the actual like lower deck where most of the cargo would be, but there's instead of just like steps going down into here, there's steps going 2 ways, one this way and one this way, and the one that's going this way goes into what appears to be some sort of a room that's dome shaped. Well, not actually dome shaped. It'd be more of like a very crudely done dome with the wood, but it would work nonetheless to where this would pretty much be the water line, like where the hull of the ship is. And then beneath that, there's some sort of large encased dome that could either have inside of it created like a new larger compass to where there would just be a glass orb at the bottom, or there would just be some sort of a pedestal where somebody can go down there and actually navigate it. Both designs look like they would work. It would just be up in the air of whatever everybody decides. But looking at it and the way that she talks about it, it seems extremely feasible and doable. And she's pretty much just said what needs to be done in order for it to be accomplished and how long it'll take. I strongly believe that if we get all the workers, we have all the resources, that it can be done. And in a much shorter time frame than anticipated. If we get even more workers, then it'll be done even faster. If we have less, it'll take more time. But nonetheless, I think it will be both good for the kingdom of Southbrook and the rest of Zaxria if we can actually do this. At this point, Fletcher interjects. I'm all for it. Whatever it takes to start bringing it back to these scum. Hit them right where it hurts, where they're hiding out. They think they're hidden among that sea, but I'd love to see the look on their faces when we pull in 30 strong. Alton at this point.
Pulling up on the ship.
I do believe that it would be good as well for the economy if we can get all of those jobs. I'm a little hesitant on the resources, and if all doesn't go well, the retaliation it could have on Southbrook. So it's where I stand, at least for now, until we take it to a vote. I'm still thinking and would like to hear others' thoughts and opinions. Edmund, at this point. I'm only just hearing many of this, and today, all of the news that's been presented to us. I have a strong understanding of it, and I'm probably the only one in here who even remembers a little bit of the time when the eradication was, and thereafter. And I can promise you it's not a time that I want to be a part of again. A lot of people were very unprepared. I'd lost my grandparents. It was difficult, and I don't want to put that kind of remorse on anyone. And I'm not saying that loss is not entirely avoidable, but we can at least decrease that number even by one. One more person that'll have one of their loved ones. So I think whatever we can do, we need to do. Sitting around here, just taking care of ourselves, well, that's cowardice. And I didn't join this council to be a coward. And I'm sure all of you feel the same, at least a little bit. Hartford speaks up at this point now. Is there anything anyone else wants to say before we put it to a vote?
It's kind of goes without saying, but if this does go through, the keepers will be with this group that would go to the island. It wouldn't be just the Royal Navy going.
That makes me feel a hell of a lot better. I was all for it anyways, but now I'm all in. All right, very well. Edmund, I'm sure we know where you're going, but your vote?
No.
I vote yes. Karina? Yes. Alton? I'm trying to put the people in mind here as best I can. And I know that it will produce jobs, but I feel that jobs are useless if they were to retaliate, and I feel if this is what we do, then that's what's going to happen, so I'm going to have to say no. Hartford speaks up as well. In light of the news of the culling, all the resources and efforts that would have to go into it, I feel should be used for Southbrook. And I know what you said, Edmund, about us being cowards, but sometimes being a coward is what it takes to survive. Fortifying our defenses and watching over our own. We can spare more ships to other kingdoms, at least, but keeping us strong here is what's most important to me. I didn't overturn the anarchy that was here before, and just for everything to be destroyed like that. My loyalty lies to Southbrook. I have compassion for everyone else, but I'm going to have to say no. Fletcher kind of, well, I say yes, that's 3-2, we're doing it. He stands up and just kind of like is getting a little amped up and is kind of hitting his hand up against he's got his arm over the back of his chair now and is like kind of tapping on it. All right, I'll let my men know. We'll get 30 ships over to the working docks. Karina, they're there for you from there. Don't know how long it'll take you guys to muster up some workers, but I have plenty of men who I'm sure will be willing to do it. I'd say at least 100 or so. If you can at least get the other 300 or 400, we'll be well on our way. Don't take it too hardly, Hartford. We'll figure it out. Karina stands up. I've got some work to do. Edmund, it's always a pleasure. Captain, Hartford, Alton. She kind of raises her hands up and grabs the satchel off the table along with the papers that are there. As she walks by, she just kind of like puts her hand like towards the inside of your arm and does like a quick like caress and pat to your arm before walking past. All right, very well. Like she said, Hartford, don't take it too hard. I know that you have the best interest in mind of the people, and I think this is what's best. He gets up, grabs his little walking stick, and walks a couple of steps over towards you. Did you have anything you were going to do, or would you like to go to the market?
I think there's a few things I need to take care of.
All right, well, I'll meet you back at home then. All right. Alton walks up to you before leaving and reaches his hand out to shake yours. Shakes your hand. I'm not entirely convinced it's the right plan, but I'm on the edge, and I was on the edge enough to where I needed to say no, just for not knowing. So don't think I don't support it. It's just
Don't support.
It's completely understandable. Like I said before, I didn't mean to come here and cause any trouble, but I feel like this would be our best fight to take right now.
well,
If there's anything we can do to help as well, just let me know.
for the time being, I think that it's in our hands at this point. When the time comes for action to be taken, though, I hope that you, and I know you will, stick to your word when you go with the Navy. That's all I ask. And if the time comes and this culling does occur, I know that you won't forget about Southbrook, but I'd hope the rest of the keepers won't. It's a big world for a handful of people to protect it. Anyhow, it was a pleasure, Connor, and
Thank you.
maybe we'll see you around.
Sure will.
I have some work to do myself. Gotta go get some workers. He makes his way out. Hartford is still sitting in the seat with his hand on his face.
I'm going to get up and head and just start to head out.
All right.
I don't want to throw salt in my wound or anything.
You don't want to go, hey, maybe next time. That'd be fucking stupid. Wrong side of history.
True. That's I feel like that's weird of him because it's like you didn't take back the kingdom by playing it cowardly.
All right.
I can understand this position.
I go head outside. And,
Alrighty.
see if I can catch up before the carriage takes off.
Okay. Yeah, you do. She's pretty much like just stepping up into it. You can see that her and your grandfather probably talked a little bit because he's like just now walking away, and she's like getting ready to step up into the carriage.
I run up to the carriage.
Yeah.
Got room for one more?
Yes, I do.
Get in.
Yep. The two of you jump in. It's a nice little interior on the inside. It's made of, it appears to be some sort of like an ash wood. It's a little bit of like a lighter whitish gray color. You can smell the wood when you're on the inside of it. The windows on it are open. Doesn't appear to be like glass or anything. But the two of you are sitting there. She puts like one leg over the other and leans up against the side.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for helping out so much back there.
Yeah. Well, I do it for Southbrook. Yeah. This is our home. Just try to do what I can for it. You just presented a good opportunity.
Just kind of came out of nowhere, but I'm glad that most people understood the big picture of what's going on.
Yeah. You've always been able to see the bigger picture, though, Connor. That's why you left to begin with. You went to the keep.
Sometimes I try and think of what could have happened if I didn't go to the keep. Because there's been a lot that's gone on in these past however many years. How many years has it been,
5.
5 years. I can't remember if it's like 5, 6, 7. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
I think of it too, often, of what things could have been or would have been. And I'm proud of what you've done, and I understand the person you need to be for the world, but I always thought there would be a way to make this work. All those hours of study in your grandfather's home, you and I into the hours of twinkling starlight, learning so much from each other.
Yeah.
I always felt like we were fated to one another.
There's been some developments that I've made in at least just the past few months at least that really opened my eyes to the bigger the grand scheme of things, I guess.
You tore me apart when you left the first time, and I know why you did. It was just easier being kingdoms apart than to be so close and not really together. I loved my father, but he was a fool to think that he could stand between us and tell us who we could be and not be. And when he became ill, he died. It was difficult, and the only person I really wanted here with me was you. I know it's a lot that I'm putting on you, Connor. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not gonna be. I won't be here for long. But while I'm here, we should spend some more time together
I'd like that.
before I have to be off and go to some sort of dark, deep hole, hell, or somewhere in the clouds. I don't know.
Well, tonight I'm going to be very busy with all of this, so maybe tomorrow night.
I'll hold you to that.
I'll hold you to it. I'll be there. Alright, you make your way over to her estate, and then realize that you're actually further away from your grandfather's house than you would have been if you were just there.
That's okay.
But that's fine, because you clear your head and walk around, make your way back, or whatever else you wish to do.
Make my way back. Probably gonna be focusing, working on my spell a bit as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like, I kind of work on it every night, but it's the whole vote and everything the past couple days and coming here kind of laxed a bit.
Yeah.
So today I'm gonna really focus on what's going on with it, and it's a celestial convergence spell, so maybe trying to make some sort of guide, some sort of like stars or something in like some sort of like field, I guess, almost
Gotcha.
around me and see what can be done about it. I'm not super far into it either.
I was
This
just
would
about to
be-
ask how.
This would be my second check this
Okay.
night.
Got it. Go ahead and make your check.
This was 22, so I need 21. So cool.
Okay. Success. And I'm assuming you do this at night. After the day has gone on, you and your grandfather had food together.
Yeah.
He probably turns in at like 8 o'clock. But once you're outside, I also need you to make a perception check.
20.
21?
Yes.
Okay. The night before you left Tenebeth, you saw going across the sky a shooting star. They're pretty frequent, but they're always spaced out. So in order to see one, 2 nights in a row is kind of something, and you kind of look up at it, and it takes you back for a moment. You enjoy it as it passes by, and it doesn't like fly across the sky. It kind of does this good arcing motion before disappearing across the horizon. But after working with a spell and such, you turn in for the night, ready for the next day, and what the night may take.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the rest of the party. You guys, at this point, after traveling for about a day and a half, maybe 2 days, depending on the pace at which you're traveling, arrive back to the estate to do whatever it is you wanted to do and start doing. There are guards still outside within their tents. There's like maybe 6 or so of the guards now. There was only probably like 4 before, but now there seems to be 6 or so of them. The same individual that you remember last time approaches middle-aged, maybe like late 20s, early 30s. Soft features, has a little bit of like a 5 o'clock shadow going on. Kind of walks up and over. Oh, greetings, keepers. Welcome back home. Good. Nothing to report here. Couple of just wandering people here and there, but
Alright.
all is well.
Wasn't stopping in.
What did I tell them to do with their ship last time?
Oh shit. Oh, we took the sail off,
Yeah, you just had them take the sail off.
which we may need.
And you looked over and you can see that the sail is no longer on it.
Where did you guys put that sail?
It's just below deck on the ship. We were going to try to lug it over here, and then we realized about halfway that we didn't know we were going to put it over here, and it was quite heavy, believe it or not.
That's fair.
Very difficult to move around.
No worries.
We were not coordinated while attempting to do so. But
Probably what I would have.
it is a little sandy. There may be a small rip in it, and it's under the deck, and I apologize. We weren't supposed to tell you, but I really couldn't.
I'm okay.
Glad you told us.
You
It would
all,
have been a problem if we started sailing with it and there's a rip.
it's just at the bottom. It's like a small tear.
More.
Yeah.
It has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But we
The
should
sail
be able
won't
to.
work, and then we'll be in the middle of the sea. And we
Should
wouldn't
be
be
able
able
to
to
fix
I
it.
wouldn't really even classify it like a tear or a rip. It's more of a small slit.
Oh.
near the bottom part.
The problem with this is if we take the ship, we're going to have to go all the way around with it.
We sure we want they pull up
Was
on
it
us,
half a
we
day
just
or a
come-
full day?
And then we
Second
tell
day?
them that we're the keepers.
It would have been, sorry. I forget
No,
that
I
I
mean,
can't
like,
do the
if we
full
wanted
day
to
and a half
take
thing.
the ship,
So it would have just been a day and a half, and you guys are going
it's like
into the
almost
night
like a
of the
decoy
next day.
ship against them, then we would have to take it all the way around. And it would take 6 months instead of a month.
Oh yeah, sure we have this.
Yeah.
Not worth it. We just burn this bitch.
You can still keep it, throw a new sail
Nah,
on
nah, we can't use it right here. Burn it to the ground.
it. All right. Well, we probably will only be here for a few days, but thank you for protecting our house.
All right. If you're gonna be here for a little while, do you mind if we return to the keep?
Go for it.
Right. I know a lot of the men have been wanting to go back. It's a quick day away or whatever, but we're stationed here, so
Take your time. Enjoy your time off.
it won't really be time off.
Enjoy your not being here.
Some of us may want to stay.
Enjoy not camping in a field.
A couple of other people have a couple of families though that they'd like to go see, so they'll probably go back and spend some time.
You guys, you figure out the logistics on your bed.
All right. Very
We'll
well.
be fine.
Keep us. He just nods and walks
Good
back to
day,
the tent.
sir. All right. Well, you gonna make some ammo? Do
Yeah,
you need help with that?
I got all those cases that need to be filled, but
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try and fix Skip, but after that, I'll help you with that.
no.
Just got like a chunk missing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to the forge and get it heated up, and then I'm gonna just try and ramshackle like an iron plate into
Okay.
it,
Okay.
because I don't have the capability to repair that. So.
Are you? Fuck.
I don't know how to do this.
With the blacksmithing,
Uh-huh.
how far have you progressed with that?
I am proficient.
Okay, that's what I was kind of leading.
I'm not
to.
at like the expert level,
Right,
but
but
I
you
know
are
I'm-
at least competent enough
Yeah.
to do something. Okay, so go ahead and make a blacksmithing check.
Hang on, I'll find the exact number. I think I'm at exactly 100. I don't know. The last number I've written down is 100. So, alright. Blacksmithing check. Is that the D20 first or the D100?
D20 first.
Okay.
Just do the D20 because this is just like one check to try to achieve one certain thing.
Oh, I thought that was a natural one, but it's not. What do I add to it?
You're gonna add your proficiency and we'll say your strength to this
Oh, cool.
because it's like really hard metal. You're not really trying to make it look pretty. You're just trying to make it look functional.
Yeah. So I rolled a 7, but I'm at plus 11 there, so 18.
18. Okay. Yeah, I'd say with that you can fix Skip's shoulder up enough to restore his AC to what it is supposed to be.
Yeah, he lost 1 point. So
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
too
Just
big.
put it back to what it was then. How does it look?
It looks like it works.
It's hard for me to turn my neck that way.
I can
don't
try
really-
and
I
try
don't
and
have-
taper down this part if you want.
That's quite all right. It's just I'm in general like this is as far. as my neck.
I don't know if there's anything I can do about that.
Yeah, that's all right.
You might want
Just
to work that
poor
out.
design,
Like,
I guess.
Need
Yeah.
to do some stretches.
I'm no tinkerer. I'm just hit things with a hammer.
Right. Yes.
That's a tinker's job.
Well, it's done up well. I feel better at least. There's something there. I don't feel random wind, so that's better.
That's a weird feeling. I don't know. If I messed with it, you might end up like with your head backwards or just like constantly spinning or
That's
something.
quite all right. I think I'll do with the.
That would be useful.
someone's, hey, Skip! I have to
Yeah, you do kind of
turn.
do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Andrew can help with that someday. You might go help Azrael though.
All right. Very well.
I attacked Skip in his new shoulder.
He rips the blade off.
Just stand behind him in a blind spot. Just keep turning when he's turning.
How to beat Skip. Easy clip.
All right, but Skip just kind of reaches up, pats your shoulder. Thanks, Moldrak.
No problem.
All right, and he makes his way out into the estate, wherever it may be,
Anders practicing his gymnastics routine.
Okay. What exactly is Anders'
There's
gymnastics
some
routine?
Cartwheels, you got some
He's
front
okay.
flips, back flips.
All right.
There's some like front handsprings.
Okay.
Lumbar.
Just make an acrobatics check.
Oh, shit. I'm a walk.
Okay.
Just chilling today.
It's a natural one. It only went up to a 7. 17.
17. Your cartwheels are solid. Front handspring's a little crooked. Your backflips a lot better than it was when you first started trying to do backflips. The front flip's hard to land. It's very sketchy for you to do, especially because of how close your face is to the ground. When you were running to like flip, it's like the ground is there that fast, and you're finding yourself just like pushing your hands down. But the front flip's not there yet. You're just messing around. You guys like looking outside. Ander is on the flattest part of the ground that he can find. And you guys are going about your day, just watching him like flip and roll around outside.
Until Connor returns, so that's me. Or we go back to kind of
Okay.
which one's happening first.
All right. Got it. So I'm just getting this clear. You're potentially gonna go rescue your brother, and the thing that you want to work on is your cartwheels, front handsprings,
This is
backflips,
for
and front
combat,
flips.
Billy. This is for combat.
Okay, I'm just making
This is
sure
gonna
that
improve
that's
my combat ability.
all right. I'm just making sure that we're on the same
Maybe
page.
If I do a front handspring, I'll get an extra
Yeah.
5 feet of movement.
Right.
Yeah. Backflip, dodge a sword attack. You ever see that before? You will.
Alrighty.
No.
Gets a beat.
You're going to help Azreal, who's
Yep.
doing the bullets, right?
What else am I supposed to do?
I don't know how
No.
much I'm gonna be able to help, but I'm,
Uh,
if it's just like filling up casings, I can probably help.
I'd say that you can just do a
By the time I get there, we'll be finished with
a
the
+2 to all your rolls there, Azrael. Let me pull up your crafting stuff so I can tell you. Because we had a certain amount set for how many bullets you make with every one. So initially, need you to roll a percentage.
$94.
94. Pretty sure that succeeds. Let me double check.
Eek.
Nope. Some player resources, right?
I think so.
I think it was.
Dust smithing. Yep. Okay. 94.
Yep.
That is actually a fail. It's unsuccessful. 0 to 10, 0 to 25, 0 to 50, 0 to 70, 0 to 80, 0 to 90. Skilled with great equipment. Yes. Just for the day you can't do it.
Working on it tonight.
You couldn't even pour fucking gunpowder into a
I get in there. He's like, today's not a good day. Let's just do it tomorrow.
Distracted, tired, lots on your mind.
Oof.
There's only like half the day left.
Yep, so you just have to try to do it again.
Dumped it all over. No, fuck this. I'm not doing this today.
Alrighty. And then when you're rolling for the bullets, because you're going to be able to do it at some point here. So the
That's what you think.
craft.
Damn.
He's not. He quit. He's not even using guns anymore. He's going to a sword.
So for every 2 crafting points, you make 3 bullets. So just add them up as you go. Yep. It'll just be like every time you make a roll, whatever, you just keep adding it up.
I thought we could do it twice in a day. Or did he lose his second
He just lost
opportunity
his,
'cause-
like, the success roll is to see if you can even craft for the day.
Oh.
Like, if you're going to try to attempt to do something, like, maybe shit's not aligning, like, your hands may be shaky and you're not able to like pour it properly, so you're just like, I can't do this today. Or equipment may be broken and need to be like fixed or tinkered up a little bit. It just doesn't work for the day. I don't think these are actually the same ones. I've got different. Ah, yes. Okay, so scratch what I said before. When you roll for your crafting check, flip my page. So when you roll, you can either get like obviously the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, or 4 point for crafting points. So every check that you make, if you get 1 point is 2 bullets, 2 points is 3, 3 is 4, and then 4 is 5. Does that make sense? Okay.
X plus 1.
Because the other way it just didn't make a lot of sense there. Because if that was the case, you'd need like an actual score in order to be achieving anything. Okay. Yes, Devin, go ahead.
Thanks.
Yep. So, is there anything anybody else is doing?
Question.
Yes.
There's that like altar room that was made in the house, correct? And there was 3 pedestals, and there was one for Skip and one for Moldrek. Was there ever one added for Karen?
Nothing else.
All right. How can I?
We had like empty.
There was empty altar spaces. Yeah.
Yeah. So how would I go about getting some sort of sigil or pedestal or whatever made of like the lightning thing? Is what it
You
like?
can ask
Could I
Moldrek.
ask him to like make it out of metal, or is it like need to be made out of stone?
No, you can make it out of whatever.
It's gotta be made out of wood for sure.
All right.
Metal, then you just give it a zap.
Lightning.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Then it burns the house down.
Hey, Moldrek.
So
So I see you can do stuff with metal, kind of.
Skip standing there with a fucking like a lump on his shoulder.
Kind of.
yeah, I guess kind of.
If I were to show you a picture of something, could you make something for me, maybe?
I can't promise it will turn out well.
If you take a little bit of time on it.
Yeah, I'll try.
It's pretty simple. There's a lot of straight lines. Just
Oh, that's good. Not good with
Once it curves, it starts curving.
fitting
man, it's
shapes to things. So
but yeah, I'm gonna pull out the book of Karanos. I'll be like, you see this?
yeah,
If I could get that on like a stand
I'll
to
sketch it down.
put into the altar room,
Okay,
so I could spend some time meditating in there, I'd really appreciate that.
give it a shot.
Thank you.
No problem.
And the thing with the symbol too, so if you're gonna try to attempt to make some sort of a, I guess, sizable sculpture in order to place it upon the altar, if that would be what you're attempting to do, the symbol itself is like, it's not. God, I don't even know if I can fucking draw it. Oh yeah, I can. Give me. All right, you fucking cocksucker.
This is the best man I've ever seen.
What a great thing.
Now I'm in my head.
You're good.
Now I'm in my head. Now.
Don't worry about it. It's really not that. It's all in our head anyway.
Literally. Okay.
Just always in my head.
Oh, just straight.
I'm sorry, rolling your dice.
So instead of it like going sideways, why are instead of it like crackling sideways,
Yeah.
it goes straight down,
Okay.
and that's more for like structural purposes,
Okay.
like the way that things are created, and the symbol itself is just like that, and it's kind of like this spin, and then it goes side straight down, instead of being like slanted, because it's a lot easier to make some sort of a base for something that goes straight down as opposed to like flat. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
You need something?
Here, that's for you.
Thanks.
Hey, Jerry.
Oh, for Jerry. Wait, is that for Jerry or me?
It was memeing to Jerry, but it's meant for you.
Oh, okay.
So how are you attempting to do it exactly?
I have an idea, and I don't know if it will work.
Okay. That's
I'm-
usually a good start to a plan.
Yeah. I'm going to heat the metal up really hot, and then I'm going to try to use mold earth to shape it into the shape that I want.
This is cheating, man.
It says rock or stone, which technically,
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say technically.
yeah. I know.
Let's see.
Technically, it probably won't work, but I'm going to try it anyways.
What kind of metal do you guys have?
Iron.
Only iron.
It's not steel.
That's all we have is iron. Yeah.
It's just the easiest thing to do.
It's just we just have a lot of. I don't know if that's necessary.
I can't remember where we got all the iron from.
I don't have that. I don't think I have that.
Didn't we like?
Oh,
Okay.
it'll probably be closer.
So iron itself is an element, sometimes found in rocks and minerals. So you're not gonna really be able to use.
It's an element that is in rocks, not a rock.
It's also sometimes found in blood.
So I mean, it's also up to you. If you wanted to just get a big stone and use mold earth on it, or if you want to attempt to do the metal thing first, and then if that doesn't pan out, just make one out of the
I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
So during the day, I'm just gonna do that so that whichever one comes out better, I can just use that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
So I'll start working on the.
I'm gonna give the metal one a crafting score of 7.
Got it. So I roll
That's
D100.
yep,
for that?
D100 for the day. You just need to get anywhere from 0 to 90.
50 exactly.
Okay, so you can do what you want to do for the day. Then you're gonna roll a D20 at your proficiency and your dexterity.
The master craftsman couldn't put gunpowder into a fucking thing with this. He's about to make a fucking statue.
20 exactly.
20. You get 3 points towards it. Okay, so you can work on one single item or one single craft each day for a maximum of 8 hours. If you work 2 hours, you make 1 check at a disadvantage. You work 4 hours, you make 1 straight roll. And if you work 8, you make a number of checks equal to half your Constitution modifier rounded down. So if you're doing a full 8-hour day, you can make more checks. But if you're just doing the 4 hours, then you just make that 1 check. There's also paper towels upstairs if you want to grab some of that too.
I think you mentioned like a school for me to stand on potentially. I am a challenge.
I can pass it down to you. I'll let you stand on a chair. I don't trust the stool. Oh wait, there's actually a step stool upstairs. Would you rather step on this or a step stool?
I don't really need to get that.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to make you get like too high off the ground. He looked at me. What do you want? Where find the step stool for me? Where it's either out in here in the basement or it's upstairs in the closet up there. It's kind of like a search thing. And then if you can't find it, just give Kay a call and ask her where it is. Unless she's home now.
Upstairs.
In the hallway that has the Look around down here first. Look around down here first, and then main floor upstairs where the broom and stuff is.
I'm gonna keep working on it for the next 4 hours.
Okay. All right, so you're gonna do a full 8-hour day working on it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your Constitution score?
16, so +3.
Okay, so you can do 1 more check.
Okay. Not as good as before, but still 15.
Okay, so you get 2 more points towards it.
Okay. And then after I'm done with that full 8 hours, I'm gonna go and try and find a big rock. I don't know if there's one nearby. If not, I'll go look in the water. See if I can find a big one in there.
I'd say that you could find a pretty sizable stone.
Like, whoosh, 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 start shearing out of it.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be like
I'd say
Some
that-
sort of dexterity check, maybe?
Yeah, let's just do a spell casting check.
Okay. So,
Let's roll a d20 plus your wisdom.
alright. Got it.
Is there anything else that you want to do?
I'd imagine I've spent my time trying to do that.
Yeah. There
First
you go.
try is an 8.
An 8.
Yeah,
Okay.
so-
You
I might have
slice
just, like,
the
cut
first
it
one
in-
clean in half. And then
Yeah.
you look at it and you're like, there's about that much stone left, but it's going to be like this big by the time I carve up to it. So,
Chuck it in the water.
yeah,
go
maybe
for
tomorrow.
another one.
Yeah. It ends up getting pretty dark before you can actually even find like another stone soon enough. So you probably like wake up tomorrow and
Yeah, I'll
find
roll it
out.
up and then I'll go inside and
Okay.
sleep.
Got it.
Probably revise the new weapon sketch before I'm starting it tomorrow.
Got it. Oh, you're actually gonna start it. Sweet. Okay. Anders flipping around. You asked for that. There's a
I'm just-
lot of food and stuff made too.
I'm just gonna kind of spend my day like hanging out with Moldrak, seeing what he's doing.
Yeah. Zar just has like food and is just like walking, like following you, and then he'll disappear for like maybe 10 minutes and then come back with like a whole different thing of food. But yeah, you watch the first attempt he takes at like trying to get
Oh,
a
stone.
sculpture. He just slices the stone in half, and it kind of falls and crumbles over, and then he goes and grabs another stone and just rolls it back
Don't
up.
worry, I have a metal one as a backup.
Doing anything, Neris?
Yeah. I think, can I meditate?
Yes. I need you to make a wisdom check for me.
I accept this.
And Azrael, I'm gonna need you to make a wisdom check as well. It's separate from your normal thing there.
94.
Can I make
What's
It's a 94.
Wait. Wow. No.
6.
6?
Then 9.
That's a 6.
6. Wow.
Can you cheat for it real quick?
11.
Plus 3.
Oh, is it plus 3?
Yeah, you don't have proficiency for wisdom.
No? Oh, I don't. Okay, so just 9.
9. Okay, 6 and 9.
We might need to redo you.
Yeah, oh, no, I know. You definitely have to do it. Well, I didn't have my computer, so I couldn't, like.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's true. Now you do.
Oh, I do.
You sit up in your. So essentially, the way the rooms are laid out is that there's like the main floor that has like the tinkering area. There's an altar, kitchen, dining room, storage stuff. There's like big old pond type sanctuary in the middle. Then the floor above that, there's 6 different rooms that everybody kind of has. And then you and Wraith have this like separate little tower that's like a rook that has like this big old bay door in it. Essentially, it's not like an actual door. It's just like this big opening that Wraith can like fly in and out of. And then up inside of that, you have your own separate like kind of room that you can sleep in. But most of the time you find yourself just out in that rook itself that has like huge bundles of like hay for him to like lay down on. And there are also on occasion like he comes back like from the ocean with like just fish that he has up here. So there's like bones and such that lay around. But you clean it up here and there. Once you get the day long enough and the stars start to kind of come up and it's beginning to get dark, you sit down and try to just relax and meditate and focus. But it's hard for you to focus because you keep thinking about the dream/memory that you had of your mom and dad that you really don't have memories of. But the dream that you had felt very real, and it kind of struck a lot of things in your mind that were either just completely forgotten or repressed that you just don't remember. So it's hard for you to just really kind of focus and hone in specifically on that. But you end up finding sleep after that, and relaxing. As for you, Azrael,
Wow, like it was done.
Haunted by the demons.
You got possessed thrice. While you were trying to sleep.
Don't want to scare you, but the creepy music turned.
Right as you came in.
you're just relaying the message on the table. Y'all, creepy music.
Sound like a war. Yes. Just for everybody who can't hear it.
subtitles without the subtitles?
Wow.
He said this.
I'm in heaven?
I got right, and I wasn't trying to get it to do that.
Whose scary dream is this?
Who do
Who do
you
you
think?
think?
Take a guess.
I thought it was a swap. No.
Great scary dream.
Your dreams.
So,
Sardines.
I knew I had to roll wisdom check. What would it have been if it would have been a wisdom save?
That's what you had me make.
What's it?
Is that what you told me to make?
Just a check, but it's
Oh, what's the same thing?
you don't have like bonus. Okay.
It's like that's what I did.
All right. You stay up into the kind of later hours of the night. You can hear from where your room is within here, wing flaps above from Wraith before he comes and lays in for the night. Your room's pretty much above it is kind of where the rook sits. But after sketching in the book for a little while under some candlelight, you eventually close the sketchbook up and set it onto the small little end table that's there and lay down. Once you lay down, you find that it is difficult to actually fall asleep. You close your eyes and there's a flash of like eyes that appear. They're this kind of brighter reddish orange color. After you open your eyes from the flashing ones in front of you, you kind of grab at your facial hair, rubbing it and pulling your hair back a little bit. Before you lay back down, closing your eyes. This time it's not immediately scaring you or arising you asleep. But once you find sleep, it's kind of like a bittersweet thing to where it's like, I'm tired and need to rest, but what will this kind of rest bring me exactly? You find yourself in what appears to be a stone and metal room. The room is metal with brass. You don't feel like you're really there. You just feel like you're there in, I don't want to say in spirit, but your conscience is there. Like you can see and hear things around you. And what you see is more specifically first, across the way from you, is this full pine looking creature, almost fox-like. You can see that the ears are not like big and wide, they're almost kind of more tall and pointy. The face has a longer snout. You can see little bits of frills over by the bottom part of the neck, where you immediately think it may be fur at first, but notice that it's just a bunch of jagged kind of protrusions of probably like a bony prominence or something that's coming off of the face. But it looks fox-like. You can see the tail behind it that's kind of moving and whipping around is kind of disappearing and reappearing in parts, where it's almost like this dark black shadow type energy that's wisping back and forth and moving around. The hands are at the side, and there's like these long claws. The individual is sitting up in some sort of a chair, has their elbows placed on the sides, and their hands in front of them. So, now you know my name, that you've spoken to your brother. You may speak. You are Azreal, yes?
Yeah.
He kind of takes a jump down and puts his hand down. Ferrex. And I'd say at your service, but it's the other way around. You would be at my service.
Try to like reach onto my person, but
You're not there. It's just in your mind. Yeah, I'm sure you do want to kill me, or at least try. Your brother's trying quite intently, I may say. You're probably wondering, this voice does not sound familiar. There's a reason for that. You already know where I am, or, well, not exactly. But you know who I am now, at least my name. There's no more smoke and mirrors, the dark, creepy voice that comes to you in the night. I think you're fully aware of what I'm capable of there, Azrael or Solomon, whichever it is you choose. And with that, I'll ask you one last time. I'll be needing the shard, and before you give me your yes or your no or your... You're going to have to take it from me. What I will give you is a warning. Your brother is very familiar with the consequences that come with disobedience, and you'll find them very quickly as well. So as I said, one last chance. I'll grant you this small, and he kind of like goes into his hands to where you can see he has this larger kind of golden coin that he's moving back and forth between them. Small bit ability, if you would, to give me the shard directly. One-time use. Once it's done, and I have the shard. As things always go, you'll receive your reward. If you do not fulfill the contract, well, I'm sure you don't want to find out what happens then. He takes his claw and clacks it kind of against the arm of the chair. Be seeing you soon. Take care there, damned one. He puts his hand out in front and you watch the mirage of the room disappear. You wake up in a intense sweat. Your breathing is not like intense and labored, but you can feel your heart thudding very fast. You have a little bit of a headache and you're lightheaded. You don't have the shard on you, as Moldrek has it, but you kind of just feel for it instinctually and then put your hands to your sides. You wipe at your chest a little bit, like your bare chest, and can feel just like sweat dripping from your body. You take a breath before laying your head back down, feeling exhausted. Essentially, you have one use of the spell Wrist Pocket. After you use it, if you read the spell, you can essentially just send an object that's 5 pounds or less to a pocket dimension. But this is a lot more specific. It's just kind of like an altered version of it, but you'll be able to use it one time, and then once you use it, you don't have use of it anymore. So whatever you grab and send, whether it be the shard or you're trying to send something else, you'll use it and it'll be gone. You won't be able to actually conjure it back.
Cut off someone's hand. Shape it into this.
But after that, you guys wake up the next day, fully rested. Some of you better than others.
I'm feeling great.
I still have to make a check.
And about
Yes,
to back
please.
him out of bed.
Someone's house.
17. That's actually going to be a fail. After that night, the DC would have changed a little bit there. Okie dokie. So, waking up the next day, Moldrek, you have that stone to work on if you so choose.
Oh, I'm probably going to work on the metal one again for a while.
Okay, go ahead and make a check for me.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's the G100.
Yes.
70 exactly.
$70? You're good. You can make your check.
It's a natural one.
Natural 1?
Yeah.
Okay. As you take the... you have it pretty much the top part, the side, and you're getting ready to carve into the base of the metal. You think you may heat it up a little bit too much. You take it out and get ready to kind of chip away at something and like break a piece off of the metal to better fine and tune it. And as you do that, you smack and hit it, and it snaps the metal like clean in half. The metal also that you like drop and break off kind of bounces into a bucket, and the metal itself like cracks really hard from it going from that intense heat to the cold like way too fast. So when you get a natural 1, all progress is lost and half the materials are destroyed. So you must restart.
Yikes.
Okay. Is there no chance that I could use the mending spell on this?
I'd say you would be able to if it was like a full actual object. It's not like an actual object or considered one yet. So like per the spell, like you can mend or fix
What-
one object or
What if he
something.
finishes both sides to make it a complete
Yeah,
object
it's
and
not,
mend it together?
you're better off just retrying to do it.
No, then I'm just going to start over.
Okay. You can make one more check for the day.
Um, 19.
Okay, and that's the 20 plus your proficiency plus your dex, right?
16. Sorry.
Okay, so you get 2 crafting points towards it.
Okay. And then if I wanted to go again, I would do it at disadvantage.
No, I don't think so. Let me double check.
Okay.
That's if it was only 2 hours worth, right?
Yeah, so if you just work beyond it, every check that you make, you have to make a Constitution save.
Okay.
That's equal to, it goes 10, 5, or 10, 15, 20, 25, and like keeps going, and you can keep trying to make checks. But every Constitution save that you fail, you gain an exhaustion point, obviously,
All right.
because you're like going beyond your capabilities.
All right.
So you make the con save first, and then you'd make the check, because if you get the exhaustion, you gain the disadvantage to the ability check.
Can I use enhance ability to make myself better at doing the D20 roll?
Yeah, you do the dex, right?
Yeah,
The dex one?
that would
Yep.
what it was. All right. Well, then I'm going to do that this time. So I make the con save first.
Yes.
10.
10. Okay, so the first one's a success, but then if you try to do it again, you have to get a 15. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and make the check. Also, Devin, I think I might have painter's tape if you want it. Okay.
Natural 20.
Natural 20? Sweet. Okay, so you gain 4 crafting points, and your next roll has a +2.
No, I know you probably don't give a shit about the floor, but like it's all acrylic.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
The safe sensor. I'm making a gosh darn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's okay. You're fine. You're good, man.
Not wrong.
Moldrak's kind of upset with himself for breaking the first one, so I'm gonna go again.
Okay, make another Constitution save.
Is he working in the workshop?
Yes.
I fail the con save.
Where's the forge put again?
Oh,
It's like under the stairwell or something, isn't it?
Yeah, somewhere weird.
I
Or
just
did it get put? I think I put in the
It's in the
workshop.
corner of the workshop.
It got
Yeah.
put in there, right?
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so he's in there. Yeah, Azrael makes his way in too.
Okay.
They're probably in there when you're in there. He might actually come in a little later though, because of rough sleep. But yeah. What'd you get for the con save?
I think I failed. I rolled. I think it was a 4 plus 3, 7.
Okay, so you have disadvantage on ability checks, which would be this. So you can make the roll with disadvantage.
I'm gonna
and-
cast enhance ability again to make it
Okay,
a straight
so
roll.
it's just straight roll, and then you have a +2 from the natural 20 you rolled before.
Okay.
D20 plus your proficiency plus your dex.
17.
17. Okay, that's 2 points. You need one more, right?
Yeah, it was just one.
Let's see if exceed his like stuff. Just
How many
put,
points did
put
you
away
get?
on the floor or something.
7.
While he's working.
I got to 8, so I think it's done.
Oh.
I just does that give me exhaustion? Or?
Yeah, so you have a point of exhaustion.
Okay, I got it.
I'm gonna incorporate workout routine in the gymnastics routine.
Okay.
We're getting swole while we're trying to get do a backflip. Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. What were you looking for again, Azrael?
Moldrak stuff.
Okay.
You can call your shit.
Do you have the bag of holy on you?
Um,
I'm assuming you're not carrying it, but
I
I'm just saying,
probably
like,
wouldn't have it. I probably would have left it in my room.
yeah, you don't see it near it, if that's what you're getting at.
What are you up to?
I'm working on this symbol of Karanos for Zaxria.
He's very, very close to being done with it.
Right on.
What are you up to?
I'm gonna start working on something. I had sketches for a new weapon I was gonna start working on.
Oh. Is it like your big one?
Yeah. A lot larger. It's gonna be like almost more like mini cannonballs than a bullet.
Oh, that sounds really powerful. Ting, 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 ting. You think it's gonna take you a while? Ting, 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 ting.
Maybe I've never made anything like this.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know how much help I would be there. Ting, ting,
Still need those bullets filled though.
Oh,
We can leave here.
I'll work on that then.
Remember how to do them?
This is about. Yeah, I think I remember. This is about done.
All right, well, there you're done with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Okay, I don't know if you're still like around, just like watching me.
Not today. Today I was doing something else.
All right, I'm gonna carry it over into the place with like all of the different altars. And I'm gonna set it up, and then I'm going to. I'm gonna go set it up, and then I'm gonna go find Zerfrags.
Okay.
Is there like a study or a library?
There is.
That's where I'm at.
He's like walking out. Hey, do you have that bag with all my stuff in it?
Yeah, it's up in my room.
All right, you mind if I go get my stuff out of it?
Go for it.
Thanks. Head out there.
All right.
I don't have any reason to not trust him. So.
No, kill him. You know he's up to something.
Okay.
Like, take him. I
Jack,
don't
as
I don't
you,
have any
uh,
reason to not trust him.
As you're making your way out of the room,
Mhm.
you can see. Are you reading the book?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an intelligence check for me.
Hot damn, 3.
Okay.
Still looking at pictures.
Yeah, you're reading it. You're just kind of like thumbing through, and you actually find probably about halfway through the book that there is a depiction of Cabraxith and Keranos together, and you just read in that page and just reinforce the knowledge that Stormcaller Uldar had given you about them being brothers. You
Okay.
also read a little bit too about Mount Celestia. But there's a little bit more to read of it before you see Moldrak stepping out from the far side. So the room that you're in right now is this long kind of corridor, like a hallway, but it's very wide. And there's a huge bookshelf along the wall, and there's a couple of chairs that you can sit in and read, a little end table, and not like an oil lamp, but like one of these on the wall, like next to both sides of the chairs, like directly above them. But you hear that large kind of iron door open up, and you can see to the far side Moldrak stepping out with the sculpture in his hand, because he would have been directly outside of the room when you left.
Do I see him?
He's like holding the symbol.
For that, is there? So wait, he's just like sitting outside of the workshop.
Yeah, because he's in the he said he's in a library study spot, so he's like reading a book. You would have seen him probably out there before you would have went in.
Okay. All right. It's done. We can go set it up.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. Here, let me come down there and help you.
Sure.
Can I tell it's not the one that he was making yesterday?
No.
Okay.
It looks the same. You probably would have, if you would have stuck with him the whole time he was doing it, you would have saw him like break it. But
Yeah.
It's done.
I'll grab like the door for him, and when we get in there, kind of
Yeah.
help him like set it up on the pedestal.
First, let's take it outside.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
okay.
There's only one way to brandish this piece, and it's with the power of your god. So we take it outside, and then I'm going to do call lightning
Okay.
and strike it down onto the metal.
All right. He takes it outside.
Fingers crossed.
As he takes it out, just kind of sets it in the middle of the field, and you're just like standing there.
The
There's
clouds darken.
quick storm cloud that it comes overhead before he yanks his hand down, and a bolt of lightning slams down onto it, and then it just like has this like a little bit of lightning arcs off of the actual metal itself.
Is that you or is that Keranos?
That was me, but you know,
What do you
same
guys-
same
what do
sort
you
of
guys got
gesture.
going on here? I'm sitting here
want me to-
doing push-ups. lightning and it's the middle of the day, it's bright as heck, the sun's out, and there's lightning hitting the ground over here. I'm panicking now. I'm thinking we're getting attacked.
I'm gonna like twitch my finger, and another one comes down like right next to Andrew.
What is happening? I would have done a cartwheel to dodge it.
Make an acrobatics check.
Didn't even hit you. It's next.
A 29.
29. You drop your finger and the lightning bolt starts coming down and like slams, but it slams and then he rolls out of like does a cartwheel out of the way, lands, pulls a card out, and just
It's already dispersing by the time he gets
Yeah.
back up. What are you talking about?
I just got. There's just lightning in the middle of it. Nobody else.
I didn't see
Did
it.
you guys? Is that you? You dropping lightning like that in the middle of the day? Not warning anyone next to you guys?
I can do this, but not that. You see like lightning crackling kind of around my hand a little bit.
Are we under attack?
He said he needed to channel the power of my god.
Did your god just stuff to do it?
He said it was
Well,
him. But
well, it was me, but my magic comes from somewhere, and I don't control the storms.
wait, was it me?
All right. Well, either way, we can take this back inside. It was just like a symbolic thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Okay.
do push-ups. If we're gonna do anything that's like extremely loud and like close to me, and like I'd like a warning.
You should really keep your back straight when you do those push-ups.
Is it
Yeah.
a little like bending a little bit?
You had your knees on the ground.
I was taking a breather.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just a breather. Well, I'm not supposed to have my knees on the ground. Is that why it doesn't really feel like? You want to check my sit-ups real quick to make sure I'm doing those good?
Yeah.
I'll do a couple sit-ups.
I did it again. Oh no.
Those actually look okay.
No knees on the ground.
No.
No, go stretched out. I guess that makes more sense. Alright, I'm gonna get back to that.
Good luck.
Any more lightning or anything? A warning,
No.
please.
I don't think there will be.
Okay.
Look around for more storm clouds.
We're in storm clouds in the first place.
Oh god. Jeez.
All right. Let's go set this up now.
All right. Now I open the doors and help
Okay.
him like fasten it on.
Got it.
Thank you very much, Moldrak. This came out almost better than I was expecting.
Yeah, me too, I'm going to be honest.
You worked on it for quite a while. I appreciate it.
Well, I did break the first one. Yeah.
You didn't like curse this one by breaking the first one, did you?
No, I just had to start over, basically.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. As you look at it, it is pretty well made. It's about, I'd say, maybe 3.5 feet tall. Sits on the little altar that's there pretty well. The base is made well enough to sit. It's not like perfectly square on the altar that's there, but it is just a little bit of a space on the sides, but it fits very well there. It looks good there. Kind of look over and you can see the little FEL one, and then the Millar one over on the side, and then you got your little one here, and you kind of look at it. It makes you feel good.
If I like kind of like rest my hand on it, do I feel religiously? Like, do I feel that connection from
You-
it? Like, it's
you
like
definitely feel that,
helpful?
like you definitely. This here is more the most tribute or worship or anything that you've really done in some sort of an actual like physical sense. Like you've always like emotionally tried and like
Yeah.
spiritually, mentally, but this like physically, like you have had something created and brought purposely into the world and placed here, and now it's like a small shrine inside of your home. So
Okay.
I mean, it definitely feels like a big step towards something.
Cool.
I'm going to leave you to it. You have a pray. Do your thing.
I'll try.
Right, I'm going to
Big
Tap him
emphasis
on-
on try.
tap him on the shoulder, and as I tap him and leave, I cast Enhance Ability Owl's Wisdom on him.
Okay.
and I'm gonna go help Andrew with his workout.
All's wisdom is
Advantage on wisdom checks.
okay. I thought you were gonna say intelligence, and I was gonna be super confused.
Well, I guess intelligence is religion, but
Uh-huh.
so maybe that if that's the check he would make, probably then.
What's the is that Eagle's splendor?
Fox's cunning, I think.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I'll do a heck and pray, I guess.
Okay, you do it with advantage.
Sweet.
Wow,
11.
11. All right.
What can you do?
It's better.
You close your eyes and kind of put your fists together. Do you say anything, or are you just like chilling?
Chill.
I'm just gonna be like, by Keranos, I hope that this altar brings you praise and that I can continue to bring you honor and honor you through all my actions. And just
Meditate on that for a minute.
After you say that, you have your fists together, and almost immediately after saying it, you open your eyes and look at the altar in front of you, and you watch like a spark of electricity kind of bounce off of it before it like absorbs back into it. And then on the front side of it, very intently, there's like this carving that's going across like the outline of it, but towards the inner parts of it to make some form of like a channel that has electricity, that like this lightning that's just like carving it, and you're watching it like looking around like you lean forward and look, and the lightning kind of carves the outline of the whole symbol and sits there. And then once the channel's fully gone into it, the lightning kind of sparks and fills the whole thing before it dissipates.
They really ruined your design like that. It's crazy.
It's better now. It's better.
Sweet.
Horses again. Horses, man.
It's one of the guys sleeping. Okay. Azreal, you make your way upstairs during this time frame, where you see the bag of holding is placed next to the bed, like in the front of it, in Moldrak's room.
Get those knees
Go
up.
up to it and think about all my stuff that's in there. So the bourbon, the whiskey. I can't remember if I put the other cigars in there, but I'll think of that too.
He's got a
You
list.
did. You put. I got 12-year cylinders, 1 bottle of lightning, 2 whiskey, 3 bourbon, and 1 box of cigars.
I'll take the bag to my room, then take the stuff out
That's
there,
fair.
Okay.
and then take the shard out, and then take the bag back to the room,
Okay.
his room.
Got it.
Snacky.
All right. You pull it all out. The last thing you take out is the shard. You're gonna pull it out. It's about this long. It's nothing crazy. It's like just jet black obsidian. You don't really feel anything like humming from it. And honestly, to you, it just looks like some sort of mundane black rock. But you take it out, put it in the coat pocket or wherever, and put the bag back where you got it. And then all of the stuff is just out in your room.
I don't know if I have a table in there or something, but I just sit on the table.
Okay.
Did you take everything out? I'm just going to cross it off. So.
If you want to write it down, so you got it.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to? I'll make a list of what I got. So 12 cylinders and 1 bottle of lightning. Uh, 2 whiskey, 3 bourbon, and then 1 box of cigars.
All right. So you to finish that out for the day. What does everyone want to be doing?
Let's start working.
Okay. On that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and make your percentage roll for the day. What's everyone else do?
Something good doing.
Got it.
I'm helping them.
15.
Training
Talk to
now.
my amulet.
You sure can.
15.
15? Okay. You're good. You can do stuff. We're going to set a crafting score of
800.
Pranked.
we'll go with 55.
I'm gonna help Ander for like half the day, and then I'm gonna go work on the filling the bullets,
Okay.
the casings.
Got it. And doing those, I'd say that you could just do that for just spending time throughout the day to do it, because
Okay.
he's got to do like the brunt work of it to actually make everything good. But what you're doing is just making the process faster for him, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll go with 50, and it's going to be a doozy. But once it's done,
Be sick.
yeah.
How many can you get in a day?
Shit, actually, I'm thinking here.
12.
We're going to have to probably do more than 50, because I'm thinking you could get that done in
A few days.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like 12 per day. So unless you, maybe like 16 per day if you max out.
Frog.
Yeah.
Can't get cozy.
All right, we're going to do 150.
That's like 2 weeks of progress or something. Average.
Okay. You can make your rolls for the day, my friend. If you're doing the whole 8 hours, you make a number of checks equal to your half your Constitution modifier rounded down.
Just one.
You. It's a minimum of. Nope, it's not. You're good. Yeah, just one.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
It
You get
finishes.
4 points. You get 4 points and then a +2 on your next roll. And then if you want to keep working, you can keep doing Constitution saves.
Sorry, what is the extra bonus?
You get a +2 on your next one.
Yeah, so it gets 4 crafting points towards it, +2 on your next roll, and then if a natural 20 completes it, the DM may elect to allow extra bonuses or flair to the item. Started with a natural 20 and ended with 1. All right. Did you want to go beyond it, or are you just doing the one?
Yeah, I'll go beyond it.
Okay. So you just got to make con save and DC 10 for the first one, then 15, then 20.
Natural 20.
Okay. Jeez.
Wow.
Go ahead and make your check for it.
What, you Brian? The fuck's going on over there, man?
He's just using his dice.
19. I knew you were going to say the fucking 19. Okay. So that is
21.
Yeah, this is like an attack. So
3
it gets
crafting
a-
points.
Like one beer, just like one beer.
every time you like to go beyond it, it's just 5 more for the DC.
So 24.
Success.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Shit. All progress is lost and half the materials. So with this, also we need to figure out the materials. You.
Is it half the materials he's used, or the total amount of materials?
It's just total materials. You got.
Total of what you would have used the whole time.
It's just to make everything easier. It's just half.
I guess
what
that
you
makes
need.
sense because then you have to.
Because then you have to figure out how far along. Yeah.
Or you can just set a material cost
The-
per check.
The natural one is you're some sort of freak, you have an accident in the shop, something fucking falls and breaks, you pour something all over shit. You're making it out of iron, I'm assuming. So each pound is 1 gold piece. Do you have a weight for the like normal rifles, like from the gunslinger or anything?
No.
We need someone to come in here and fix this workshop, man.
You want a gummy bear?
There was a piece of something on it. I think it was my eyelash.
It has like
Just
3 pounds for like a pistol and 10 pounds for a musket.
Okay, yeah. So this is probably going to be like a pretty heavy weapon.
Bad news is it's 25 pounds.
Yeah, so this is probably going to be like almost double that. So we'll just call it 40. Sue, you're going to need 80 pounds of metal. So you would have lost 40 pounds of metal. And then
Is that from
it's
our total?
yes.
Okay.
And then for the iron, it's usually like 1 gold piece for each bar,
You still have
which is a pound.
100 and well, I don't. It's I have the number in bars, not in pounds.
It's the same. Yeah, each bar is a pound.
Okay, we're at 120.
Okay.
124.
124. Okay.
I never even.
And that's
wrote
after
down
taking
how
40
much-
off.
Yeah,
I
I
just have
just
15
subtracted.
in
We were at 164, and now we're at 120.
Okay.
Although I didn't subtract materials for the thing, the statue. So I
Well,
don't
we'll just give it to you guys. Yeah, I'm sure that I'm pretty confident you guys had a little bit more metal than what you actually have written down.
Okay.
Just because of like all the shit that you guys made before with the cannons, and we just forgot to track it.
Okay.
And then I ended up giving you guys that like just ambiguous number of how much I thought it would have been about.
All right.
So
Where did we get all this?
that's cool.
Where did we get all the iron?
I think at some
He,
point
he
bought
went
a
and got
bunch
it. He
of
bought a
You
bunch
went
of it.
north.
Yeah.
To that one.
Yeah.
I bought a ton of it.
You
I
guys
think-
can always like, I'm sure, just to like make things easier on you guys, is send like letters places
Yeah, have it
and
shipped.
have it shipped and all sorts of shit like that, like going through the keep or the old guard directly or wherever it may be. But you just have to have obviously the gold to buy the stuff. But from that 120, take another 40 because that's going to be the whole total that he needs to like
Make the
full
next
80
one?
pounds. Yeah.
Got it. Where are the big cards?
Okay.
they left the train.
You can make another check, or you just wait until tomorrow. But you'd have to roll another con save and succeed. It's a
Yeah, he's pissed, so he's gonna keep going.
20. You need a 20.
24.
Okay, success.
all the gold. And then they're going.
7.
7. I think that's at least 1. Yep.
Send word to all the kings.
Oh, actually, no. That's no progress, sorry. 0 crafting points. 3 consecutive ones. Results in a loss of all progress. Okay.
I don't know if I'm getting this thing done.
Get it done.
Did you get another natural one?
No, you just didn't get any progress. Just a rough day. The night before really has you flustered
It
there.
was a great day. Natural 20, natural 20.
You should have just stopped.
Let me do my nightly routine where I go through everything in the bag of holding.
Just
and
dump it out.
take inventory
Yeah.
of all of my stuff.
Gotta make sure it's all in there.
Plate number 5. Plate number 6. Plate number 7. Plate 8 with a chip in the
I've got
bottom.
numbers on it.
And now my favorite, my weapon shop.
Where's it at? Where did it go?
He's gonna work late. I don't know if he's fast forwarding through the day or not. But he's gonna like not come down for dinner. Like go up to his room and probably have like 3 glasses of whiskey.
That's kind of a tough one. Okay.
All right. Why? There it is. Okay.
We won't lose too much.
Neris. Where are you using the necklace at?
I'll probably just in my room.
Your little spot? Okay.
Little spot.
So, Neris, as you are up there, you take the necklace and place it in front of you, using whatever magics it is to cause the ghostly little white wisp to come out and form before you. Before you can see the form of Darian now standing in front of you. He's kind of facing the other way. And turns around.
Oh,
Ah,
yes, this way.
hi. How
Hello
are you?
there.
This place is interesting.
I think so. Oh no, don't answer. Don't answer.
I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, last we spoke. Well, it's so hard to not ask questions in general conversation. It is.
Yeah, right.
Well, last we spoke, you mentioned having something to talk to me about.
Yes.
What is that?
Right. So,
2 questions.
when I had left and brought you with me, because like I had said, I was sent, essentially, well, found, like I said. Your family knew I was there. When I was coming into the Feywild to find more creatures, to experiment with, and what have you, I had stumbled upon you and your people. You were the first one I saw, though. Very curious little thing running around in the woods of the Feywilds, which to me was extremely dangerous. It felt like everything was trying to kill me, but it was still somehow strangely peaceful there. But anyways, to the point. You were being, I'm not sure if it was hunted or what it was, but your mother and father had come to me and told me, after I'd been with your people for a while, as I said before, that I'd gone pretty close to everyone there. They had me bring you out of the Feywild to escape whatever it was that was chasing you, to bring you to your Aunt Sahira in the Redwoods in Venore, the capital city. During that time, I didn't think I'd be very welcome there, but I knew I could, if I wanted to, bring you there, but the way we were when you were growing up and all the things that you were learning and all the fun we had, I'd kind of overlooked it and forgot about it, so I never brought you there.
What? You just. That just. What? It just never happened? You just failed to mention. I'm asking so many questions.
I'm counting these as more exclamations.
They are, and I thank you for that. However, I am very concerned as to how this is just now being brought up after a little over 90 years.
I died.
I guess, yeah. You died.
Did you answer a question there, or was that just...
So, what am I supposed to be doing?
Well, I really wish I knew the answer to that specifically, but, I mean, if I were you, I'd say going and finding your aunt may be a good start. She may have more answers than I'll ever have for you and the things you want to know.
She's still in the Redwoods?
I'd assume so. I was told, and let me think on this very intently so I know exactly. Your Aunt Sahira was somewhat of a lover of animals, very strongly. I think she went and left the Feywild in order to find more creatures on the material plane. And I quote, your mother said she was the crazy animal lady of the village, and I'm sure that she's the same thing there. So maybe asking for some sort of crazy animal lady may get you in the right direction.
Wonderful. All right.
No, exactly. She might have gone by a different name.
Well, I guess that gives me some things to do. Well,
And one more question.
I get another question?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was all three. Well, all right. Well, is there anything you wish to tell me?
I wish I'd have had more time with you.
You get these lovely little chaps.
Right. You know, I spent a lot of my life studying death and thereafter, and now that I'm here, it's kind of shit.
Is there anything that could ever make it better? I guess I can.
And then he disappears. Wraith is just like sitting there watching the conversation with his head on his paw. Or claw, rather.
It's like the dragons have paws.
Yeah, dragons have paws. They're pets. Guess I don't know. Can I like meditate on my thoughts? Is that a thing that I'm able to do? Alright.
In order to achieve.
To achieve like just some sort of clarity on like what my like, or do I just form a mission? Do I go into the redwoods now? I can do that.
It's D&D, you do what you want.
Yeah. We're just sitting here at this house. You could fly there or something.
All right. Well,
We're friends with them now, right?
Or,
Kinda.
I think they like open their borders more too.
yeah.
I don't think it really matters for anything.
Well,
Elfed up.
yeah. I'll done. Sure. Well, I guess I can go and find Zarbarak and see if he wants to go on an adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, he's downstairs in the kitchen
Eating.
eating.
Yeah, you're eating. So, it's been a while since we've gone on an adventure together.
We're kind of always on an
But,
adventure.
you know, you and I as two, it's been a few years, I'd say.
That's true.
How would you like to go with me to find my aunt?
When?
Wait. Well, are you busy? Do you have any, you know, impending matters or things you need to attend to?
Kind of.
Such as?
Well, I learned about a weapon.
Which is?
It's called Storm's Rage. And it belonged to the god who I've been learning to follow. And I want to get information about where I might be able to find the pieces to it. But I need to go to Arcanoria to do that, I think.
You think?
Well, I think a lot. And I'm just trying here.
Well,
They got a lot of books there, so I figured if they had any information, I could get it there. We've got a lot of shelves, but they're not any books. I have this book, but I think this is just kind of general information about.
You can tell. Have you read it?
I've tried. There's some pictures in there. I like those.
Do you need Wraith to read to you, or do you need to read?
I can read.
Can you read?
Yes, it's just difficult for me to focus on reading for long periods of time.
I'm sorry for that.
No, it's okay. My mind is always going in 100 different directions, and it seems like the only clarity I have is when I'm fighting things, and it's frustrating sometimes.
I'd say I can understand, or I do understand, but I don't. I don't particularly like fighting. It's very gross. But okay. So would I guess I can just I'll just do this quest on my own.
Well, if I can find out when we might go back to Arcanoria first, I can decide.
Muldrake's sitting at the end of the table.
I can
just looked over and said, what are you doing?
I can figure out if it might not be for a while, and then go with you, I guess.
Well, if you, I mean, I hate to bother you. If you don't have to go, it's fine.
Hey, Moldrak.
Yep.
Are there any plans to go back to Arcanoria?
I think when Connor comes back, which I think he said about a week, and it's probably been 3 or 4 days. So you have a few days.
Do they have a teleporter from Arcanoria to Redwoods?
How long would it take us to get to the Redwoods?
Flying?
Yeah.
It would probably take you a week to get there.
Golly.
Okay.
What's the closest teleport to the Redwoods?
Well,
You don't have a coin to get back.
I know, but
The Lyceum. I'd cut it in half at least.
I
Probably
think
more.
I think we should wait till Connor gets back. Wait, why do you want to go there anyways?
I told you I'd like to meet my aunt.
Oh yeah. How old are you now?
94.
And you've never met her before?
Well, I just learned about her.
Can you wait like 2 weeks?
I think I can wait 2 weeks. I mean, I've waited,
94 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can do that. Let's wait till Connor gets back here and we can figure out what's
Yeah,
next.
usually Connor knows what to do.
They want to go save
He's
like Anders'
the
brother
man
or
with the plan.
something. And I don't know what
You just have to plan it.
the situation with that is really. They kind of lead and I just follow.
That's about where I'm at too.
Yeah.
But,
You guys can
Seems to
suggest things anytime you want.
I'm not suggesting. I'm not very
Well, I think we
Come on,
both
go with
now
the flow.
finally have some direction on things we need to do, but we want to stay and help because we're a group now.
Well,
And now we have side quests.
at
But if
any-
Anders' brother is a pirate, there might be some issues.
I don't know if, at any rate,
It's a weird thing to bring up right now.
how long it will take us to get there. Because we may end up with some time anyways, but
I don't know if I'll ever even find what I'm looking for.
I think
I just
waiting-
want to see if
That's
I
fine.
can get some information.
waiting to, if Connor has any other information when he gets back may help us, but I don't know, I say go for it, you have stuff you need to get done, especially if we're heading into some sort of day of doom. Get that stuff done.
Play with words you have.
I don't-
Are you telling us to go?
No, but
damn dude's kind of fired. Throw it out there.
I mean, you have stuff you need to get done regardless. So,
Yes.
like your thing with your weapon sounds quite important.
Yeah. My mentor told me it might be important.
Did he know where any of the pieces were?
He knows where one of the things are, but I need the other two pieces first.
That makes sense. What kind of weapon is it?
It's another axe. Except
It's pretty cool.
Keranos used it himself, supposedly.
Oh, I'm guessing that's not easy to come by then.
Yeah, no one's seen it in a couple 100 years at least, so.
What time is it right now?
Now, I'd say it's probably 3, 4 in the afternoon.
Do they worship Keranos in Azreal at all?
Negative.
Negatory.
Only god they worship there is Cetrian, which is the dragon deity.
They worship dragons and Cetrian there.
Well, you may want to try and ask somebody who was around 200 or 300 years ago. They may have some insight.
Was Azreal alive during the Epoch of Resolution?
You'd have to ask him.
Well,
Did you say that out loud? Because I think I know.
I feel like we've been keyed into the fact that he's pretty old, haven't we?
Yes,
the
you
math
have for
would
sure.
add up.
Okay.
So at some point, I
Cool.
don't know, is it
Some
time
You
for
mean-
the year? I'm gonna
You
want
think
to
the
get-
elves in
get
the
a-
redwoods might have
get my
information
glass
then?
to- just taking a break.
They live for like hundreds of years sometimes.
What does?
Elves?
Yeah, elves do, and one
Yes.
Walking into the room at this point, grabbing a glass and filling it with some whiskey is Azrael. His hat is off. He's sweating. He looks frustrated.
Oh, hey, Azreal. You seem to have had some weathering in your life. A little bit more than I'm used to seeing on people. Without being rude, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
It's not just a jab, it's actually kind of pertinent.
You might be able to help me with something if you're old enough, I guess.
I don't know, man. I'm fucking old.
Like Epoch of Resolution old?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh. Were you involved with the fighting at all?
Yeah.
Which side?
That's a good question.
I don't think anyone's asked for that.
Do I look like a demon? Or a tiefling? Or an orc?
No. You look pretty human to me. Sometimes your eyes get a little weird, though.
There you go. Here's your answer.
You know what? The guy that we had with us before you was an actual demon. You haven't done anything he did yet, so I'm going to go with your good guy. Do you know anything about Keranos?
Never heard of him.
You've been alive for hundreds of years and you don't know the name of...
I've heard of him. That's it. I haven't studied him.
You said you've never heard of him.
No, he said he's heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'll be honest with you. It sounded like it for me too.
Sorry. Gotta clean my ear out here real
It's
quick.
the side of the table.
He pulls a
It's like
huge
wall.
chunk of just nasty stuff out of his ear and just flicks it on the floor.
That's my bad. I apologize.
It's fine. The little guys will blend in.
Pick it up.
You didn't happen to encounter some guy running around with a big old lightning axe ever, did you?
Make a wisdom check.
It's not going to Billy.
Intelligence? Like history or?
Just kind of going off of your memory a little bit more, but we'll do it. Yeah, just do a history check then.
21.
21. Okay. The only thing that really even rings a bell with that is a lot of people telling stories about a great hero traveling large distances, killing demons with the power of a storm.
I remember hearing something about some great warrior traveling vast distances with a storm thing. I don't know.
Like the storm that I have, kind of?
Sure.
Well, you wouldn't happen to have any other acquaintances that are still alive that are from that time, would you?
Yeah, we just met him.
Do I know that's his brother?
Also the Dean, I think.
Your brother? He didn't seem very friendly, though.
No.
Okay. Well,
I was friends with the dean back then, too.
of the keep?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. I don't even know how old he is.
Okay. Well, that's actually helpful. Thank you very much.
Then Andrew walk in to finish his work off to get food.
Why is everybody? We having like a meeting or something that I didn't get invited to?
Yep.
Everybody's in here right now.
Chelonia's even at the other end of the table, like eating some food.
You guys invited the new guy before?
Actually, we're swapping you two.
What?
You're the new guy now.
Am I still a keeper?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't you sign that book?
Oh, you're right. I can't. You can't swap me. You're right. He's
Can
got
we
like,
scribble it
That's
out?
how we swapped you. We put his name in there.
scroll right now.
When did we go to the keep and do that?
Yesterday.
Oh.
So but like seriously, are we having like a meeting in here?
Not really, just kind of talking about what's going on next. Not a formal meeting.
It's like a.
I mean, you were working out. It's not that pertinent. It's pertinent for them, not so pertinent for everybody. We didn't want to disturb your workout.
That's fair.
you were pretty hard at work out there.
Yeah.
We all just kind of ended up in the same room. Is that
You were like
what
doing
happened?
skipping around,
Yeah,
spinning.
there was me and Moldrek came in for some lunch, and then Neris came in, and then Azreal came in.
Yeah, they forgot I was here when they started having the discussion.
I tend to zone out a little bit when I talk to people.
Kind of is like the kitchen dining
Yeah,
area.
it's just like.
Yeah, it's a gathering place.
Speaking of which, you guys getting me like food? What do we got going on in here?
Foods.
But what kind of foods are we? What do we got here?
I found
We
some.
have ice.
Stir fry.
Stir fry.
I found a roast in there.
Waldek's been eating it.
Fried turkey.
Turkey stir fry.
Hell yeah! Turkey stir fry.
I just said stir fry. Somebody threw turkey.
I don't want to eat it, but I guess that's what we got going on.
You need to get your
A little baby corn.
you need to get your protein in there.
That's why I gotta eat.
Who said turkey?
He's not even here.
Oh god, that's great. Oh shit. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh god. Apologies for your ears, for both the laughing and the dropping of the mic. Wow.
I don't really know what happens, but
Disgusting.
cooked food kind of just shows up in the kitchen.
Making some of that.
No. Don't curse this world.
Did you just say you don't know what happens?
Yeah, good food just shows up.
I bet if you just went in there and said, "Hey, can I get some chicken?" Hey, wait a little while, it might show up.
You know that we have little cook guys that we bought, right?
I don't see them.
Homunculi.
Homunculi.
You can see the ones in the kitchen. You just have to go in the kitchen.
Oh, they just bring the food out here.
Oh, you
I've
just
never
like,
actually been in
you
the
just
kitchen.
walk in. You just walk in here and go chicken, and then it just comes out.
No, usually I just walk in here and there's like platters on the table, and I just grab what looks good.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, you're right.
I never thought about it. I just kind of ate it.
there's other stuff on the table. You don't have to eat this turkey
I
stir
was
fry.
told it's gonna get me stronger. I
I mean,
guess.
Yeah, Moldrek asked for the turkey stir fry.
That's all I eat.
It's his favorite.
I'm gonna eat the turkey stir fry. Okay. Told you to give me gains.
There's no sauce really, so it's more just like turkey and vegetables, like sliced peppers and onions.
Yeah.
There's even like some potatoes in there. It's a little weird, but
Worst thing, I guess.
oh jeez.
Like, we got like a plan or something.
So,
We have
Uh,
plans.
Nurse needs to go to the Redwoods to meet her aunt,
We got that.
and he needs to find an ancient weapon wielded by a god.
If it
Those seem like-
exists.
Those seem like two very different things.
Well, we
with
both
different
just found
scales.
out about them in like the past few days.
Yeah, that seems like
Okay.
the thing.
I'm guessing we're gonna find the ant first, right?
It's not immediate, but we could.
We need to probably wait for Connor.
Because
I might-
If our next idea is to get my brother, we have to wait like three or 4 months anyway.
I think that was the
Somewhere
number.
around
I
there.
might make a trip to the keep to speak with the dean.
It's only like a day
You
away.
could probably do it.
We could do that. We have time before Connor gets back to do that.
I'm not going to leave today. I'll leave tomorrow. If I do that,
I'll go with you. If you want me to come along.
You're
I don't
looking for. You're looking for an axe?
yeah,
Good deal.
It's in
Think about
multiple
Argonaria?
pieces though. Yeah, I did,
books and
but
stuff?
I think we have to wait till Connor gets back to do that
That's
first.
right. You're right.
That was my first idea, but Yeah, I don't know how to get there without
Yeah,
Connor.
no other
So.
way. You're right. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I don't keep coins on me or anything, so I can't even try.
I have coins, but none of them will get me Dark and Moria.
I had these 2 hell coins that I thought would get me to the 9 hells, but they're just like currency, Connor said.
Did you say gave me
I didn't
something
try.
to cast it, or is it just something?
You're just able
Just
to
throw it
do
in
it.
my cup.
I throw one of the like hell coins into the cup.
It's a cup of water.
It sinks to the bottom.
What if we do it with lava?
You get lava.
Hits the table, it starts to melt. The house catches on fire. Trying to put it out, but there's some grease somewhere, so there's just more fire. Just,
Well, that was a disaster.
Like, don't worry, I'll put it out with water.
yeah.
Don't worry. I can do wind. Well, water didn't work.
Figure it out. You did say they were just like a currency thing.
So, do you know where in the Redwoods?
No, I was advised that she is quite fond of animals, though. So,
Okay.
as most elves are, but
We can just try the capital.
yeah.
It's the only really place. We don't really know of any of the small villages, so we would have to go there.
That forest was pretty big.
Yes.
Big trees.
So we went to some of the small villages. Didn't know that was in Azash.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Went to some of the small ones.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
if we're talking about problems, I got another one.
Okay.
Well,
Besides the
this is the
piece of
time.
shit gun that won't come together. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it.
You want me to try and help you with that tomorrow?
Yeah, Moldrek's good with metal.
I could probably help
I'm
you.
okay.
I can help you too.
So
Oh yeah, he actually probably can help you.
maybe it's pretty intricate, but
So you're not ready for it.
remember that when I was talking with Zeke, that kind of fiend he was talking about
Mhm.
has control of us.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him mentioning it at least.
He really, really wants that shard.
You didn't
Yeah.
tell him to come kill you for it or something?
No.
That worked really well against the Harbinger. We beat even like
Yeah, we killed him.
So
yeah.
the problem is when you don't do what he wants, he hurts the people you care about. And as of this point, besides you guys, there's no one else in my life.
So he's going to bring the fight to us.
There's probably not going to be a fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be more of something with your soul tearing away or pain that you can't describe being inflicted upon you.
Trying to remember what he was saying. Didn't he say something about like he was trying to climb the ranks or something? And that's why he was using you guys or something.
Yeah, Ferrix was
Something.
trying to take over Yarina's layer of the Nine Hells.
Citizen 1.
What if we... Wait, what level is that?
7.
Oh.
7 is lucky enough for that.
She's the dominatrix. Oh, that's the 5th?
So,
You sure?
What if...
What's Yarina?
as
Irina's
much as
the
I don't want to give it to
lady.
him,
What
I
if we
also don't
just...
want you guys getting severely hurt
It's a bad
before
idea.
everything happens.
I was going to say, what if we just tell Urina that someone's trying to undermine her?
That could work, but then we'd have to like go there, find a way.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on
afterward.
what he said, she has already been successfully undermined.
Oh, so he already is?
Yeah, what he said is that he's at least at that layer where she was, which is Meldomini, which I think is 7.
It is 7. Then you got Kenya. Which I think I wrote wrong.
Cania.
Kenya.
Arcania. or Kanaya.
Okay.
There's so many
You
different
gotta watch what you say
pronunciations.
these things.
I definitely didn't say Kenya.
I think it was like Kenya or something.
Kenya.
Kenya's the 8th layer.
No disrespect.
No wonder
everybody in
Usain
Kenya.
Bolt runs so fast. Jesus.
Yeah, like deed.
So tough.
That's so good. Oh, but from your knowledge, he's already successfully undermined Urina through you guys getting rid of Ray 6.
Okay, this might just be like dumb, but like, what if you just give it to him? Like, what would happen?
Well, he's
I guess we
gone.
wouldn't really know.
No, but we learned that they were used to make like powerful weapons. So it's eventually going to make our job harder. I guess at the positive of surviving long enough to make our jobs harder.
But I'm potentially going to get a more powerful weapon.
That's true.
He's about to make a new powerful weapon.
Provided we can find it.
He'll also
get a powerful shield. at some
probably
point.
bestow me some
That
sort of
ever
gift
happens.
for giving it to him.
Did he give you a time limit?
Wait. So your options are give it to him and get something good out of it, or don't give it to him and then he kills us?
Well,
Fucking give it to him. What are we waiting for?
at the potential of not being able to beat him when the time comes.
That hasn't happened yet.
Doesn't mean it won't.
If he has a demon axe,
Because also, like,
Fighting
and I
a-
have a god axe.
Fighting a demon and fighting an archdevil are two completely different things.
Wait, a what?
that's what,
Archdevil, you know, like the big boss. You know, he controls a whole
boss
plane of
demon.
existence.
But he's not at level 9 yet.
Doesn't matter.
yeah, but he controls the whole
Each
7.
layer has an archdevil that controls the entire plane. Oh, well, as I say, we learned this in school, but you didn't really attend. So.
I mean,
I went to school and I didn't even really learn that either. So
they tried to teach me magic and it just didn't stick very well.
That's fair.
magic is hard. It's hard.
Magic is really hard. I don't understand how mine works. But yes, it's basically probably not entirely equivalent to a god, but close. So it's way stronger than anything we've ever fought before. And to give him,
What was the Harbinger?
I don't know,
Just some guy.
some sort of devil or
You're
demon or
assuming
something.
it's some sort of like fiendish demon.
So he was just like
Yeah.
an underling?
Yeah, he was like, you know,
And the way that, so not like true to like raw D&D
Yeah,
multiverse and everything, but he is correct in saying like Archdevil is way different than just like Devil or
Yeah,
Demon. So
yeah,
it's either like an Archdevil or Archdemon that rules the lair.
Okay.
Devil and Demon is just what dictates like their features,
Yeah.
abilities, and things like that. But for the most part, Devils and Demons are pretty much aligned quite the same. But for the most part, Demons are a little bit more powerful than Devils are.
Okay.
technically demons come from the abyss and devils come from the hells, but it's neither.
Yeah, not the same, but this.
Are we able to, like, will we even be able to fight him without the thing though?
I don't know.
That's where.
I don't know if we can fight him at all.
That's where.
Maybe we don't need to fight him. Maybe we
That's where.
just need to deal with Erebos.
What if we make a weapon out of it instead?
We have no idea how to do
I
that.
don't know
And
how to do that.
I think when we were told about it, they said it's like innately evil.
I don't know. Devils be like really intelligent compared to demons.
Yes.
Do you think that if you accept this power, Azrael, that it would give him some sort of hold over you?
Am I giving it to him?
Well, you said that he may bestow a gift upon you. Do you think that may, in the future, allow him to?
Probably not more than he already has.
Okay.
He's just giving me rewards for doing things that he's asked to make my job easier.
The problem is we don't know how much more powerful this will make him.
So you've done stuff like this before?
It's mainly been around killing.
Oh,
I mean, for all we know, we could give it to him and he starts wiping out the rest of the rulers of the house.
In a weird way, it could be more on our side than the other levels. Maybe he could use us to his advantage.
It's something I had not considered. It's certainly possible, but I'm worried about the means to the end of whatever that is. But I mean, we don't have a lot of options at this point.
And I'd hate to wake up one morning and see one of you guys severely ill or
Well,
not able to breathe or
I think we should wait to see what Connor has to say. But I think right now giving it to him might be a smart move.
Till he gets back?
Eric's.
Oh, did he give like a timeline?
He didn't give you a timeline, he just told you.
When did that happen? Like, when did he go, hey, I need that?
2 days ago?
Last night.
The night
Last night.
previous?
Okay.
You have you, like, has he, I don't want to say punished you, but has he, like, punished you before? So you, like, you, like, have, like, an idea, like, you might just do it right away if I don't.
It's up to his discretion. My brother stopped doing things and our whole family's gone now.
How long till Connor's back?
2 days, 3 days,
Probably like 3 or 4.
like 3 or 4 days.
Probably got a little bit of time.
Right.
He probably also wouldn't go straight to, like, trying to kill one of us. But he
I
could.
don't think so.
I don't know who else he'd go after at this point.
He might just try to send a message and
Yeah, just like,
give it to me sooner than later.
He knows I have it now. So, he knows this. So why the fuck are you waiting? You got it in your hands. Figure it out. What you're doing.
Okay. Well, I'd say if he's, unless he threatens, hey, give it to me tonight or I'm going to kill all your friends tomorrow, maybe just try and hold out until Connor gets back and we can see what he thinks.
He's probably gonna torture me a lot. But it's something I'm not used to.
Maybe, maybe there's something Skipper I can do to try and help you sleep.
what are, like, is there a chance we could just, like, we could all power through the stuff that you're gonna do to us, though?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've never been at the receiving end of it.
I mean, I'm not trying to speak for anybody else here, but if he's stronger than the Harbinger, I don't know what this guy might be capable of. And the Harbinger kind of put me on my ass a little bit.
Appeared to be you're a little like ice cold.
Well, I went and found my family again. They appeared to all have died of sudden asphyxiation. No marks on them. Anyone laid a hand on them. Pale blue.
I don't know. Do you think we should do it now, or do you guys think we should wait?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't know what the right call here is.
Maybe we sleep on it for tonight.
To the point.
Took a lot for a little bit, I guess. Put your mind at ease. It took, weeks to find old Razix and that other demon we killed. This is related to the same thing.
Okay. Well, we have a little bit of time.
Also, does he, like, he just, like, always know what's going on with you? Like, does he know that we're, like, talking about him right now?
He could, I don't know, but we don't talk.
That's fair.
If that's the case, I mean, what's the difference between giving it to him now and giving it to him later?
See if we find a better way. I don't know.
Also, so we can see what Connor says.
What if you ask the dean what we should do?
What, just be pessimistic. Saying, I don't know if he knows Connor separated from us, then he can maybe go after Connor while he's alone.
And then we just don't. No, I'm just kidding. Where are you, what do you want to do? It does ultimately go down to your decision.
Personally, I'll just give it to him because I know what's going to happen to me. I know there's some important stuff that it's a little bigger than me overall.
Do you know anything of any sort of relationship between Ferrix and Erebos?
Zeke probably knows more than I do. He seemed to have had a lot, and I haven't been able to find much.
If this guy can just kill people without even doing anything to them, like, will him having the weapon matter anyways?
I guess probably not on our scale, but maybe on a bigger scale it might.
Like him having the weapon probably won't affect us, but like not directly at least, but could affect the house, which could also affect
Eventually affect us. Yeah.
Maybe he'll use it to create an imbalance. Maybe there'll be infighting within the house. Maybe that could be an opportunity for us to attack.
That's true.
Sounds like giving it to him would be a good thing then.
Sounds like it has more advantages.
I'm with whatever you want to do.
What if he doesn't even want to take over Zaxria and he kills the ones that do, and then we can just keep him down there?
Sorry, what did you say?
I forgot.
He was saying, what if he just doesn't care about like Zaxria and only wants to? Like, he only cares about the house.
I don't know. I mean, you could ask him to make that, like, I mean, he has no reason to abide by it, but you could at least be like, hey, if I give you this, please don't use it to destroy Zaxria as well.
He doesn't talk to me when I want to talk to him. He gave me some ability to create a portal to send it to him one way.
Okay. Well, I have an idea that may at least allow you to get some slightly more restful sleep. This is me asking. So do you make like a save when you go to sleep? Okay. What I'm thinking is using like just alternating between me and Skip. Just like using. Do you get advantage on it or no?
Not naturally, no.
Okay. Say we can just stay up all night and just use enhance ability the whole night just to give you hopefully, more restful sleep. And hopefully he'll be less, pervasive into your thoughts.
At the moment I have a +1 and a 17 failed.
Okay. Well, I think it may be at least worth a try one night, or 1 or 2 nights.
Alright, I guess.
Skip only needs like 4 hours of sleep, right?
Hmm?
Skip only needs to shut down for 4 hours.
Correct.
Okay. Could we do it in like shifts every night and still get a long rest then?
Yes.
How long does it last?
It's only an hour, so we'd have to cast it like 4 times throughout the.
I say it's doable, and you could also cast it on him, like if you're watching him intently, like when you notice him like stir,
Okay.
or like obviously like physically seem like he's having like a hard time sleeping or something's bothering him, like seeing his eyelids like moving around a bunch or him like thrashing or starting to sweat.
Okay.
He's trying to sleep, and you're just.
Yeah. It's like
That's your buddy.
I hope you're getting a good night's sleep, bud. I'm staring at you closer to the demon.
If you're comfortable with that, Azreal, well, we can try that too. At least maybe give us a few more days while Connor is out.
I've had plenty of rough nights in my several hundred years of existence, so a few more nights won't be that big.
Okay. Well, Skip and I should be able to do it in shifts, so if it does make a difference, then maybe we can temporarily give ourselves more time.
Like I said, I'll more or less relatively fine.
Okay.
Just mentally bombarded. It's more you guys I'm worried about. So I didn't know sure as hell I ain't saving the world by myself.
That's all we are tonight. We'll save the world with him. Whatever, man.
Maybe we all sleep in one room.
Aww.
That way,
Sleepover?
if something's happening to someone, we can hopefully do something about it.
yeah, the two places that seem to be the most feasible would be in your little sanctuary or the dragon roost that you had built.
Maybe Skip or someone can probably just Skip some sort of pray on the room or something. I don't know.
I don't know if he has anything like that. I was looking actually. I don't think that's a thing he has. I don't know if ceremony does like. Well, the spell I was thinking of was like
Far is
but he doesn't.
Kind of from here.
From here?
And a half.
Yeah, it's like a day and a half, 2 days. Yeah.
I'm gonna work on this damn bullshit weapon again. So
Okay, we'll
This damn Azreal.
we'll keep thinking
You
about
want
it.
help?
Yeah, you should let him help you. He's probably.
maybe I don't know. I feel like I got it, but I was just really awkward to work with.
That's
Alright, well, if you need my help, I'll probably be outside, probably.
I'm gonna take it.
So last time goes back to fail again.
Oof.
She's okay, sorry.
Alrighty,
That guy's
so
rough.
you guys there figuring stuff out. We're gonna jump back over to Connor. The next day comes and you wake up quite early. It was a little difficult to sleep the night before. Just thinking about today. You and Karina pretty much being together, doing whatever. Worried about if it's going to be like old times, if it's going to be awkward, what you should do, what, where. Like you're just up all night, just kind of contemplating and like thinking of stuff. But essentially, the day progresses, and if there's nothing specific that you really wanted to do throughout the day, because nighttime rolls around when you actually, excuse me, are able to go and have whatever date or event or whatever you would like to call it with her. You make your way over there, and you arrive at the Margrove estate at night.
The other shooting star from the night before, was it anything different than the one previously?
No,
Okay.
just
Just
another
like
shooting
the
star
effect or
back to back.
anything? Okay. I was just curious. Sorry.
You're good. the symbol on the metal gate leading up to the front porch you can see of the Margrove's crest. You can also see sitting there with a book in hand, the beautiful Karina, her wavy kind of auburn brown hair sitting just past her shoulder. She wears a ruffled blouse with a dark brown vest over it and black kind of leather pants that complement her physique. She stands and sets down a book she was reading, smiles, and walks to the middle step of the porch staring at you, waiting for you to approach.
Walk up.
So, what did you have in mind?
Well, kind of show you a few things that I've learned while I've been away, and see what you've learned.
All right. Sounds good. Where at?
Let's see. For the first one, we're gonna have to go to the beach.
All right. Lead the way.
So, head towards the beach. Go down cross the bridge down the stairs.
Okay.
Do I see any ships out?
So the kind of like channel that goes through here, you do see a couple of fishing boats that are coming in. You just kind of sit and wait for a moment as they pass. Karina gives a little bit of a wave to them as they're coming through. Catch anything? A few things here and there. Nothing too crazy though. Normal day. Enjoy your night. Yeah, you too. The boat passes by.
Well, this one came pretty easy while I was learning, and I kind of take up like a handful of sand, and I toss it, and then it creates like a shooting star almost, like Celestial's comet.
Okay.
It shoots out.
She
Hits the
watches
water.
it. Watches it smack down. Huh.
And then,
I know you've got something better than that, Connor.
of course,
Not that I'm not impressed, but don't hold back.
okay. I bamf my staff in, and then see him like kind of spinning around in the sand a little bit. A little rock comes up, and he takes up the rock, tosses that out, and pulls down a meteor.
Okay, yeah. After the first like little beam of light that slams down into the water, you swirl the rock after pulling the staff upward, throw it up, and then kind of twist your wrist to where it just grows in size, and then lava and this just broken rock falls and splashes into the water, sizzling. And she kind of like, yeah, that is a little more of what I was expecting.
This would be up to you.
Okay.
Would I be able to use astral displacement on more than just me for this scenario?
I'll crush the little kid's hearts as long as you're in.
I will allow it.
Alright. Well, for the next one, I'm just gonna need you to just sit down. And I sit down like back to back.
Okay. What is this?
And, I'm just gonna need you to trust me on this one. And I go ahead and cast astral displacement.
All right.
Both of us.
Okay. As you are there, you lean with each other's backs against one another, and when you tell her to trust you, she just kind of like instinctually like reaches her hand back, and you kind of reach back and grab it, and then the two of you disappear in this little bit of starry energy. At least you feel like you do. Your body is still there, but you reappear in this dark black void of endless stars and swirling constellations and what seems like multiple galaxies or things in the distance. There are stars flying across the sky. You can even see large formations of like meteors. There's just a vast amount of cosmological details and entities all around, and she's just looking, still like kind of clasping your hand at this point.
And this one was probably the hardest one I learned.
Where are we exactly? Is this the Astral Sea?
It is. Just if you see anything or feel anything, just let me know. There's a lot of dangers out here that can cause harm.
I feel alive. Like I'm supposed to be here.
Well, did this? Did this?
As you are sitting here,
Okay.
behind you, where the sun feels like it is, you can feel the slight warmth from it. It gets blocked out for a moment as you feel this and see this shadow that's pretty much being presented in front of you, almost like the sun pushing past, gets blocked out for a moment before you turn around to see the extremely large face of the astral dragon, the great star. He, looking down before you, two mortals, but two star-touched mortals. What is the meaning of this?
This is a journey.
She's like squeezing your hand at this point. It's like looking forward.
This is something that we need to experience together. Oh, great stuff.
Like putting his head down, it actually kind of shrinks a little bit to a size that you can more better comprehend. Looks for a moment. A long moment. Hope you do not mean to trick me, star-touched one.
There's no trickery involved.
And you understand what it means to be bound, fated to one another.
I do.
At this point, you see, looming over him, Indrozelia, as she kind of swoops down and in. She swirls underneath his neck. Why must you play with the mortals, my love? And she looks over. You understood. I knew you would. He kind of grows his size a little bit more as he backs up. I don't have the time for this. Continue as you are. Do not waver. My patience has grown thin over your squabbles. Mortality. Fades off a little bit.
Give me a little more
And Roselia starts to kind of slowly circle around you. You can see her tail, the rainbow kind of speculum of more of a purples and whites and blues that kind of fade and hue together. So, actually, I won't say. I'll let you find out for yourselves. There are forces stronger than even I that have held you together. And I promise you that there will come woes and sorrows with your love, but there's joy in life. Hold on to that. Nothing is stronger than the bond that you two share. And to break that bond, that is what infuriated my love to begin with. You've done well. I hope you really understand what this means. And Karina standing there. I'm not sure where I am or who you are, but I'm not frightened. At least not with Connor here. I trust you. This feels right.
This is the astral sea and the two great astral dragons that inhabit it, that have created and maintained the power of magic that flows through everything.
She's
including ours.
She's beautiful. And Rosalia, as are you, my dear. Now, go be with one another. I have things to do. I have to find him before he gets in trouble, too. And she kind of like swirls up into the dark black abyss, which is hard to even tell if it's a sky, because it just looks like some empty black void before she disappears.
And then, keeping in the back of my mind that the last time I was here, it didn't seem like I was here very long, but time passed incredibly fast. Just going to kind of say how to like stop the meditation of it.
Okay. Yeah.
We can't stay here for very long. One of us wanted to show you how big or how small the world actually is.
Kind of seems like the things that we're all worried about are meaningless.
It really is. But there's things that are at play that are a lot bigger than all of us. And this helps put that into perspective. But like I said, we can't be here for too long. Time passes incredibly fast when we're here. Just think of where we were sitting on the beach and we should be able to wake up.
Will you be there?
I'm already heading there now.
The two of you both focus on that area before going back to it. You feel each other back to back again, her hand still holding yours. Oh. The same strength I felt there, it's the same energy, the same power I feel like when we're together. I never really understood it before.
Like the last time I was here, there was a lot that had happened to me. A lot after the first time I had left. We were going to fight a monster, and something happened. I actually ended up dying at that time. Not much time had passed from there to when I had awoke, thanks to one of our time-inclined adventurer friends, but it really scared me, and I didn't want to put you through that kind of hurt of losing something.
Well, I felt like I'd already lost you when you left.
With all these things that have happened and are going to happen, I just, like I said, I just feel like things are a lot bigger than the both of us, but I still need to remember where I came from and where my heart is.
The two of you under the bridge, you can see the channel that leads out over the water. For the third night in a row, you watch a shooting star go across the sky. I was just about to ask, thank you. She grabbed your hand a little tighter, looking out over the star, and says, make a wish. Okay.
You can't tell people your wishes.
I know.
Unless it's 9th level. I learned, okay? You gotta make sure you phrase these things
The
properly.
rules lawyer that 9th level wish. Write out a contract for that boy.
As she's holding your hand and kind of leans in a little bit more, after saying, make a wish or whatever, and you guys look out at it, the two of you are standing there. The next, I'd say, few hours or so are spent of you two just watching the sky, kind of looking up at it. She sitting next to you, I imagine like you guys are just sitting at the beach at this point now, looking up at the sky and the stars. She kind of holds your hand a little tighter and then puts her head up onto your shoulder, sitting there. Eventually, you guys make your way back to her estate, where you let her in and bring her home. Then, for the sake of brevity, the next 4 or so days of you being in Southbrook, you spend another day there, like longer, just because of the time that you spend with Karina while you're here. What's up? Okay. Your time spent here with Karina is pretty blissful. You forget much of the world that is around you and all of the worries and troubles that you've had. You remember why you fell in love with her in the first place, and it's hard to remember why you even left to begin with. You guys spend many nights looking up at the sky, talking and reminiscing of old times, and remembering, learning much about the sky and learning much about each other in those times. She shows you a couple of things that she's learned. She presents herself kind of standing with the ocean at her back. She puts her hands out to her sides, and you watch stars kind of form this arc in between her that she pushes in front of her, and then it forms a form of an individual that has the same kind of physique that she does before the stars themselves actually form a copy of herself, to where she appears to be right there 2 times. That's the definitely most interesting thing that she shows you. She shows you a lot of other spells that you are, I wouldn't say unimpressed with, but that you that you're just glad that she was able to learn it and kind of do it by herself. You're assuming with the help of your grandfather, she was able to better hone her abilities as well. But as the nights continue and go on, your relationship grows stronger and stronger. You guys spend many nights together, and you spend many mornings from those nights before together as well. You take the time that you have with her, and you do not take it for granted one bit. You know that you have to say goodbye, though, and that you will hopefully return at some point, and things may be different than you are, expecting the outcome of your, whatever years you have left to be. But at least having this moment with her has been pretty nice. You spend the last day, and as you're going to leave, you say your goodbyes to your grandfather along with Karina.
Go walk into the water and.
There we go. Drop the coin in. So, as for all of you back at the estate, This is going to be 2 days before Connor gets back.
Who's that? Oh fuck! No, not like this.
So, I'm gonna need you to make 3 more checks.
Roll an advantage.
Yes.
Is
And
that
if Skip sees him like twitching, can he also cast Bless?
It's
To
plus
give him
concentration.
Oh, they might both be concentration.
so? Wait, are we passing time from where
Yes.
we last were?
Yes, just to get things rolling.
Oh, because I wanted.
What'd you need?
I wanted to go to the keep like the day after we had that conversation.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay.
We'll do that.
You guys are
Still
kind of
make
like
your rolls.
in like almost the same
12.
line as me too.
Yeah.
With the time
fail.
passing, that was like a few days.
It really
ahead.
was.
You guys
That's a
talked 2
success.
days ahead.
Oh.
Bless is
It was like 3-3.
It's just
But me going to the
4
keep and back should
fail.
only take like 2 days anyways. So.
That's the week.
they are both, so it would just be enhance ability then.
Okay.
So just you can roll with advantage.
All right. So that would have concluded the week. But, however, the day after, I'm assuming you would have went. Like you guys had a whole conversation.
after.
Okay, cool.
Gonna leave. To
Are
go
you
to the
going
keep.
by yourself?
I did say I wanted to go with.
Okay. Moldrak said he wanted to go with.
Okay, yeah, sure. Moldrak will come. You coming?
Yeah, I guess I'll go.
Okay.
Why not?
I'm staying. I gotta get my.
Skip might go. Yeah. Actually, no, you both can't go because then.
Skip staying.
Beans, beans,
That's
six.
what I was thinking. You might help with this gun.
They're a hole.
Fuck, dude. I know, big.
Phony.
What's the
So I think it's
intelligence?
Ready to check, right? We got the checks. We're good. Nothing happened. We're solid, right?
All right. So,
us.
okay. So Neris, Zarvax, and Moldrak, you guys make your way over to the keep. It takes you probably about, it's like a 9-hour ride by horseback. You have Wraith though, so you can get there a little quicker. However, though, like all 3 of you riding on Wraith's back is semi-equivalent to the same speed. The only thing is that, like, you don't all have like a horse individually, but
How many horses came with the carriage?
it's just the one. Yeah. However, it doesn't take you super long to get to the keep, nonetheless. When you arrive, the gates of the keep are open. At least one of the doors is. There are people walking in and out. It's not like super lively. There are a few guards that are just kind of sitting at little posts. You know where to find the dean. He's in the keep at the pretty much very top of it.
Yeah.
It's about 8 flights of steps to get all the way up. But he's up there. The keep itself has these large statues of all the first keepers, and you can see, like, at the top of it, there's like this large portion of it that has a lot of the offices up there, but the dean's is all the way up there as well. So I don't know if you guys are all going with him or what.
Yeah, I was gonna head to the dean's office.
Okay.
Yeah, me as well.
Alrighty. So the 3 of you walk in together. A lot of the people here are like, "Look, it's the keepers," and they kind of walk over and, like, reach out their hands towards you. Some of them hand you like breads and cheeses and like bottles of like wine or things that they run to their houses and grab.
Moldrak, open your bag.
A lot of them that are like near their homes are kind of like going inside and like grabbing things that they can to like bring you stuff.
Well, actually,
No, you don't have to do what you do, but please accept this from us. She like
it's
hands
really
it to you.
okay, but we will take it.
But you get 2 bottles of wine, 4 loaves of bread, and then a wheel of cheese.
Nice.
Sweet.
Being good on the way home.
It's like one meal right there.
But you make your way up to the dean's office. The
And
dean
everything.
himself is actually like walking out of the office.
That guy's there.
He has like he has a satchel that's kind of going over his side that he has like books and such in, and begins walking out, corrects his posture a little bit. And, what can I do for you, keepers? I hope this is a social visit. I'm kind of be quick here. If you could follow me. walk and talk.
Yeah, sure. I just I thought maybe you could help me with something if you had some time just to talk.
Yeah, most certainly. Just heading my way over to the Lyceum for a little while. But what did you need?
So I was informed about the fact that you knew Azreal back in the time of the Epoch Resolution.
The eradication, yes. Epoch of Resolution, so quite a while ago, though.
Do you by chance happen to have any knowledge of Keranos?
I've heard of him, a little bit of him.
Did you ever maybe encounter him or?
I can't even recall encountering followers of Keranos over my years. Keranos, rather. Why? What is it you're after?
From what I've been told and learned, some of my abilities have been granted to me from Keranos, and through some teachings from a man named Stormcaller Uldar in Tenebeth, he's informed me that there may be a weapon that Keranos wielded at the time. As supposedly the stories say, he came to Zaxria himself to fight during that time. And so I'm just looking for information about where he was, and possibly where I might be able to find information about him or that weapon during that time. Supposedly he separated the weapon into multiple pieces, and information of his whereabouts might help me find them potentially if they even exist.
Oh, wow.
I know it's kind of a lot, sorry.
No, but that's intriguing, at least. There are some books that Professor Fletcher here has. I'd say to look into those. I do believe that there's a piece of literature by Delbert Fleming.
My boy.
Yes. Artifacts of Zaxria. He's got a whole book on it.
I was told it was an artifact, so that might help.
I want to read through the whole book.
See if there's any cards in there by chance.
I'm sure if there's any information you could find about that, he would have tracked it down some way or another.
He knows of Arcanoria, right?
What's that?
I said that he knows about Arcanoria, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Does he know?
My other guess was to go to the library in Arcanoria and look there, but I need to wait till Connor gets back with us. He's at home visiting.
Right. That's nice.
Well, my bad.
Metagamer.
Well, yeah, I'd say just find that book, and hopefully that helps you. I myself don't have much knowledge on that.
It's a lead in the right direction. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Professor here?
He should be, yeah.
Well, let's go find him.
Thank you for your time.
Most certainly, is all well?
As well as it can be.
Right. And at this point, you guys are outside, and he is getting up onto a horse. Is there anything you needed from the keep? Resources, help, information, other than that?
Not at the moment.
All right. Well, I'll be at the Lyceum. It may take me a little while to get there and back. And
put in an order of iron and have it sent to our house.
if
or
you
have
provide,
somebody do it.
if you provide the funds, just come back here. Any one of the professors, or even going straight up to the old crow, he'll be able to handle it.
Okay.
400,000 uncoal.
All right. Well, I don't think we need anything else.
All right. Very well. It's good seeing all three of you. Give my best to the rest.
Will do.
Will do. Thank you.
Give my best to the rest. Fucking
All
bars.
right.
Bars.
We actually, I know we just walked down here, but Professor Fletcher's office is back up there.
Oh, well,
Back to it, I guess.
good cardio day, I guess.
Yep.
Maybe we should invite him.
You've been sitting for like 4 days just eating.
True, actually.
We should have invited you.
just to kind of speed things up a little bit, you are able to get into his classroom there, and then going through the books between the three of you, you find the same book, two different copies of it.
Perfect.
So if you wanted to, you can just take one or both. It's up to you. Okay, got it.
One might have it, one might not. You never know.
All right.
Is the professor anywhere to be found?
No, you don't see him immediately in here.
Hey, Moldrek.
Yep.
Maybe we should leave a note if we're just going to take these.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll
On a plate.
tear a page out of my notebook and just write, Professor Fletcher, we are taking your copies of Artifacts of Zaxria. Will return Moldrak, and then I put some ink on my hand and stamp it on them.
Okay.
Copies.
Got it.
Yeah. Yes, both copies.
Okay.
I leave it on the desk.
All right.
We have somebody read from the back of the book while somebody's reading from the front. Efficiency.
We got to read along for 30 minutes.
All right. Well,
Actually, I just leave like a stack of like 30 gold, and
Okay.
maybe you can buy more copies with it.
All right.
borrower's fee.
Late fee, inevitably.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
We're paying late fees. It might be. Drivers,
Well,
so.
I don't think we'll return.
I'm making 3 days worth of checks here.
I wonder,
Did you make those 3 days?
can we
No,
make
for
it back
crafting.
home before
Oh,
dark?
yes.
Or
Go
do we
ahead
need
and do
to
that.
stay here.
So just make the percentage roll for each day to see if you can even
I
do
think
it.
we should just.
Just anywhere 0 to 90. Anything
Okay.
above 90.
We might
70.
get
Okay,
back
success.
late,
You can do that.
but I think it's probably.
That's fine.
Does he get
I'll just-
advantage if I help him?
The sooner we get back, the sooner I can
19.
get to studying these
That's 3
books.
points.
It'll take a while.
Yeah, you gotta read 2 whole copies.
Yeah, I
of
guess
the
I'll have
same
Andrew
exact
come in
book.
on the
I'm
second day
gonna read
because
one
I
and
don't
you
want
can
to
read the other one.
come in on the first day because I already made all the checks.
That's a
Okay.
good idea.
Read it out loud for him.
If you go on your phone in the resources thing, it gives you this table that's got
I
what's the
just wanted to
successes
cover
are.
the second thing. The first thing is already done.
Okay. But yeah, you'll get advantage if Andrew helps.
We're just gonna head back after we.
Okay. Sounds good.
Probably like late. But it's-
All right.
we left
So-
pretty early.
When you guys get back, you can
Probably sleep
Taking
and
into
go
the
back
yeah,
to
you
it the
can
next
sleep
day.
and then looking at the book. Looking at the book, it is about 800 or so pages,
Mhm.
and each page the font is quite small. It's all it's handwritten
Oh,
pretty well.
okay.
And it is a very, very in-depth book, and a lot of the artifacts that are within it, there's no depictions of them. There's really no pictures in this book at all. The first one that you flip through, there's you can't find pictures or anything like that. But the second one that you actually grabbed does actually have for each one, the first page of it, it's almost like a chapter of it that is a depiction of it. So you have both a handwritten copy and then one that was probably pressed or remade. And then the remade one has on top of it what appears to be the actual picture of what the artifact would be.
Okay.
Give him that one back.
Just for the few days thumbing through your patience is worn thin very fast. Going through this book is this big. It's no fucking joke. So as you're flipping through it, yeah.
If I looked while we were at the keep and saw that one of the copies is handwritten, I'm gonna leave a pile of 200 gold coins to something else.
Okay, got it. But as you're thumbing through and looking through, there's probably an artifact and then about 100 to 200 pages of writing associated with it. So it's a lot to get through, and it's hard to actually find your way through it. And you're flipping through, and you'll have a stack of paper that you're holding, and then you go to flip a page and then drop all the pages back down, and none of them are numbered. So you're just flipping through, and it's
I'm going
hard.
through as well.
So, can I have a movie moment where I get mad and throw the book against the wall and it just open to the right page?
Roll a d20.
Ooh, I
Roll a
like that.
d20.
Yes.
17.
Okay, you throw it and it just smacks against the wall and then lands closed.
Okay.
If you'd rolled a natural 20, I would allow that for sure. But it's just frustrating the next couple of days to kind of go through it. Moldrak's going through it too.
Yeah.
But but there's a lot
Give
of
myself
information kind of
enhanceability while I'm
compact in
reading.
there. We'll get to that when we have our next session.
Yeah, sure.
But after those 3 days,
That's
were you
pretty
able
much
to do
all
all your
I'm going to be
checks?
doing. So
Failed the Constitution save on the second one.
Okay, so you would have got.
Do I just stop?
No,
that day?
you can keep going, but you have disadvantage on your checks.
So it would even out if Andrew was helping.
Right.
We'll just be watching.
Maybe not risking it.
That's up to you.
I don't even know if I can get this gun done. Because
What?
on average, assuming I never roll a natural one, it's going to take like 5 weeks to reach 150.
oh, it's probably not even in the car anymore.
Well,
That's
Yeah,
assuming
like
about
it's-
2 points a day.
We're gonna have
'cause
like a
fail half the
Yeah,
time
so
when you
you-
roll.
because I was taking into account that you were going to have more than one roll a day, but you actually don't. So 50 to begin with was probably more on par with what it was going to be than 150 was. So just keep it at the 50, because originally I was under the assumption that you'd have like 3 rolls a day, and you'd be able to like hammer it out quick, because like you do 3 rolls and you get a 2 every time. You've got 6 right there, and then you do it like for a week, and you'd have been halfway there or more than halfway there to the 50 mark. So just keep it at the 50 for now, and then keep going at it.
Day 2.
All right. So for everyone, excluding Connor,
Oh, we're all gonna die right here.
Hell yeah.
Party wife.
so this would have been about a day or 2 before Connor would have got back. And actually, Connor, you would not be excluded from this. Chelonia would be the only one excluded.
So he doesn't know he's part of our party yet.
All of you guys go to sleep and take rest.
I don't sleep that day.
Okay, then you're excluded.
Skip and I would still be alternating at this point.
Okay.
But we would both sleep at some point.
Right. All of you resting. A warmth takes you over. The world around you is dulled out by the sounds of light wind. Before you now, fields of grass with a bright yellow sun glow, kind of dancing across these dew-touched tops of the field. You see the figure of a woman standing to the far side of the field. No features, but a beauty like grace and warm, inviting form. Reaching her hand out, Skip, my champion, and keepers of Zaxria. FVL reaches her hand out to you. Skip walks over and kind of holds her hand for a moment. We haven't much time, keepers. There is much you have discovered, and much you do not know. I fear now that the fight is not only on Zaxria, as now the heavens too are being pressured by Brelnax's mission. Unexpected attacks on the heavens have put us in a difficult place, being unable to help more here on Zaxria. On the blood moon of the 80th year, the forces of evil will come for Zaxria and all that is good in it. You must prepare for what is to come and lessen the blow that will be struck. Unfortunately, we need Skip, now more than ever. For now, you here gather your strength, do what you must to become stronger. But Skip is needed. I'm needed here on Zaxria with my family. I know, Skip, but it's time for you to come up and help us. I've delayed it for a little while, but it's gotten to the point where there's nothing that can be done. At least you. I know that you can make a difference up here. And if we lose up here, there's no telling what Zaxria will become. There will come a time where we're all side by side fighting this evil. But for now, this battle is in more place than one. And Skip's the only one that can help us up here. He turns around as he's a little further in the field. his eyes saddened. I mean, you'll all be all right, right? He kind of walks over towards her a little bit, says a couple of things, and then walks back over towards all of you. He walks up to Moldrak, kind of proper and tall. I'll see you again soon. But your deity comes asking for you. It's hard to say no.
I know, buddy.
He reaches his arm up and over, and then brings you in. You'd be here too, Connor. He walks over to Ander. I know at times we may have argued a bit and not saw eye to eye on things, but I feel that nobody cares more about everybody else than you do.
Ander's crying.
You're the real protector of the group, Ander. The glue that kind of keeps it together. He reaches down and gives a hug.
I'll miss you, big guy.
I miss you too, Captain.
Billy, you can't be making us cry like this, man.
Too late for that. All right, Connor. Come on. Pat you on the back. And I know we didn't spend a lot of time together, but you're just as much as family as the rest of us, so don't forget that, all right?
No, I'm never going to learn to pray.
He reaches over and kind of puts his forehead on yours. You will. It's hard, but you will. Here, take this. He kind of hands it over to you. Help me. Just a blank book. Write random prayers down in it, and whenever I'm feeling sad or alone or in need of them, just write stuff down. He kind of leans in and gives you an actual hug, and while he's in your ear, he's like, you know how to write, right? I think so. All right, good. Pat you on the back. And you, Neris. Is it all right if I...
Yes.
All right. And he just reaches over and gives you a hug.
I just cried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Azreal, it has been an absolute pleasure, sir. And I know that at first it was a little hard to understand why we needed you here, and I had faith that it would be for the right reasons, and I feel like this group is not what it is without you, so.
I owe my life to you now, because I wouldn't be here without you. I'll see you up there sometime.
Yes, you will. And this won't be the last time we see each other, but I fear it may be a while. Don't worry, though. I'm always there.
Never come back, otherwise I'm taking your shield.
Yoink.
Not the one you have now, the one in the glass case.
Oh, yeah. He kind of reaches back to her. Can we leave my shield behind? Sure, Skip. At least I can leave something for you. I'll leave the shield. It's next to my bed. And then on the shelf in there, there's something for everyone. I was going to wait to give them to everybody, but now seems like a better time. I love all of you. And I know you all love each other. We just don't say it enough. Or at all. Yes. This is me saying it.
Love you, Skip.
Okay.
Be safe.
You too. You guys taught me how to be a person and feel, and I wouldn't be who I am without you. And I mean, now I'm going to protect heaven, so it's crazy. Just keep fighting.
You two fucking horses here too.
He turns around and walks towards her before disappearing in this kind of bright yellow glow into the distance. Ephiel looks back. You've already found the portals. You must see if you can reverse the process. Go through these portals, destroy the beacons at the source. For now, you have some time. Gather your strength. Fortify the bonds you share. The world will need you. Good luck, Keepers, and sorry that I had to take him away, but he'll always be there with you in spirit. She fades off. Your vision fades as well, bringing you back to the estate. Moldrak, you make your way into Skip's room, where you find the shield resting against the edge of the bed. And on the shelf itself, kind of all splayed across, I believe, Andrew, you already got yours, your little wooden figurine. But Skip hand-carved each of you individually, and a little wraith wood carving that's all kind of lined up on the top of the shelf for you guys to take and have as yours. That's where we're going to leave it for this week. Thank you for watching. Again, we appreciate all the follows and everything. Please be sure to follow to be put into the giveaway. Watch the VODs and stuff on the YouTube. We're just going to end it there. Good night.